Good morning, welcome to Sewing Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarty, and boy have we got a day lined up for you. Do you want to see what we've got? Yeah, let's take a little look. So we're starting off at 8 a.m. Jo Carter is with us first thing, and we've got her ballerina, but not just her ballerina. We've got all accessories for all those ballet mad amongst you. And I know there are a few. Oh yes. Then at 9 a.m, Stitch Me Kit. It's your chance to personalise and stitch those photos that you just want to see always and have out as a lifelong memento. So that's 9 a.m. Then 10 o'clock, we've got Jo Carter's unicorn in a brand new colour, I do believe. Yes, beautiful. So we've got one with a gold mane. Yes. And then at 11 a.m, we're quilting as you go. So your chance to stock up on all of those quilt as you go accessories. And we've got a starter kit in there for you as well. So if you're brand new and going, yeah, I'm going to give that a go, yeah, join us at 11. Now, talking of brand new, obviously a lot of you have just started watching us on Sky. Hello, welcome if you've just found us on Sky, channel 678. Lovely to have your company this morning. Now, if you are new and you are new to buying with us and watching us, then let me run you through a few little things. Let's think of it as a bit of housekeeping, shall we, this morning? So here's how you can shop. There are various ways. You can shop and find things off the live programs or on repeat. If you're watching on repeat, it's best to always give our call centre a ring. Now, that is free to do so, and they're a UK-based call centre. It won't cost you a penny to call, and they're very, very lovely. They're there 24 hours a day. I know because I ring them all sorts of time a day. 0800 112 4433 is the way to do that. You laugh, and yet we have 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, have you got? Yeah. And then if you'd like to shop online, that's www.sewingquarter.com. Now, you can watch online as well. So the thing to know about this is if you go to watch, then there we are live. And if you scroll down, you can message us, and we love to hear from you. We love you to get involved. We love to get to know you. It's always wonderful. So please do message in. And if we get the chance, we will read your messages out. Please don't be offended if we don't get the chance to during a busy show. It's nothing personal. It's just, you know, but if we do get the chance, we will. Now, underneath there will be, we haven't put anything up yet, but will be all of the products from today's show. So that's like your shortcut to finding everything that we've got online. Now, that's not where it stops. We have an entire online web shop. So whatever else you want to put in your basket, we've got it. So if you're after fabric, we don't just sell it. We don't just sell it in fat quarters and charm packs and things like that. Look at all of these. I think we've got about 4 pages, if not more now, of fabrics that we sell by the half meter. So scroll through, see which ones you want, and you can then say how much you want. It's sold in half meter increments. So if you want a meter, then you would put 2. Now, some of you have experienced a difficulty in buying 3 units or more. Again, just give our call center a ring, 0800 112 4433, and they will help you buy that. Just note that if you buy this, this will come in one long length of fabric, okay? So, and it comes in a beautiful presentation box, so it's a little gift to yourself. And actually, I find that's a great way to store your fabrics as well in one of our beautiful boxes. Now, if you are one of our new buyers today, well then thank you and welcome. But if you do spend over £10 today, and it's your first time spending with us, then you will get a little free gift from us as a little hello, thank you, welcome type thing. Then you will get this miniature rotary cutter here, a little, there you go, 28mm plus 5 spare blades from us to you, very handy size. So if you would like that today, all you need to do is spend £10, it's easily done. It's easily done. Then you can absolutely do that with us today. So that's our new customer gift. Now, if you are, of course, new to us as well, then you may not know we are not a standalone company. We are part of the Immediate Media Group. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that we have some amazing magazines as well. That is sort of our sister companies. So if you head to the website and you would like to subscribe, then on the first page, you just click through. Oh, we're now on Sky, winter sale, special offer. If you'd like to try one of our 3 magazines, we've got Love Patchwork and Quilting, Today's Quilter, and Simply Sewing. We've got all of those, and we've got them on a special deal so that you get 3 copies for a £5, isn't it? It's something ridiculous like that. You're saving 72%. And so all of your details on how you can subscribe so that it just gets delivered to your door. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it when you do your supermarket shop. Oh, can I remember to pick up that magazine? Have I remembered to do that? Oh, they've run out. I didn't get in quick enough. None of that. It's all there, and it will just arrive on your doorstep each month and be a wonderful thing for you to peruse and go, oh, yeah, get some wonderful ideas. Now, the latest edition has got the ballerina, and you can just see that on the top there, which we have on the show today. Hooray. Now, we've got Jo Carter with us this morning. So remember to get in touch. That little box underneath where we're live is how you get in touch. But also, if you would like to email us, because we love to see your makes, what you're working on at the moment, maybe things that you've made in the past, maybe things we've had on the shows that you've made, that you bought and made, then if you'd like to attach those and send those to the studio, then it is studio@sewingquarter.com. So we absolutely love to hear from you, and that's how you do so. Or if you've just got an awful lot to say, then that's the way to do it. We've already had an email in this morning, bright and early. Thank you ever so much. Oh, wow, this is from Sian. She says, morning, Tash and Jo. Just thought I'd send a pickie of my ballet troupe. I adore Jo's designs. That is fabulous. Look at that. Brilliant. So, just perfect. Just perfect. Now, ours today is hidden on the set. I was going to say hidden in plain sight, but she's not. She's stuffed in a bag. Stuffed in this bag here. So if I just take this off here, and yes, we do have this kit for you today as well. This is what we're going to be making with Jo today. And here she is. Ta-da! And the joy of it is that when Jo designed it, she didn't realise she was making a mini-me. Completely by accident. And we all saw it and went, oh, but it's Jo. Fabulous, isn't she? Absolutely fabulous. The tutu, everything. And can I just show you the detailing of her ballet shoes down here, because this is a beautiful thing. And it's just these little discreet details that make her so special. Just gorgeous. I think there is a time in every little girl's life where she wants to be a ballet dancer. Certainly I knew I wanted to be a ballerina, you know, not the general ballet type, being nearly 6 foot tall, but, you know, I still had the dream. And we're going to go and have a look with Jo and see how we start making this kit. So we've got kits. We'll show you those in just one moment. But Jo, good morning, by the way. Hello. Lovely to have you, and thank you for coming back to do the ballerina. Now, I'm noticing something a little different here.
Yes.
We've got a change of hair colour.
We have. We've got new hair.
New hair. We've gone blonde.
Yes. So this is.
Is this now us? Is that what we're looking at?
Well, this one isn't me now. So
no.
This was for you.
Okay. All right. Now, where do we start with this? What's the best way to start?
The best way to start is with the hair.
Okay.
And because the hair on the doll is sort of a stylised design, and it's felt laid over the, see, I'll turn that over the cotton fabric, and then to hold it in place, but also give it a little bit of extra detail.
Right. So
With
that
stitch
gives
lines.
extra strength. There you go. So that's the back of it there, and that's the front, and that's all stitched onto there. And because that's felt, that's not going to fray, is it? So we don't have to worry about that raw edge.
So the lines, they hold it in place, but also that's the sort of the sweep of the hair, because this will be the back of the head like this.
Aha, right.
So it's swept up and the bun will be up there. And I've used a brown thread just so it's more visible.
Okay, lovely.
So the fringe, the front bit is done in the same way, but this is just lines, and I didn't even draw these on. I just started off by sewing all around the edge so the felt was secured onto the fabric, and then went back and did these lines up and down, and just freehand.
Okay.
If that is the right word.
Yeah. I'll go with freehand. Yeah. And then you've got the fringe and the front.
Yes, and this piece is a mirror image of the top of the face, so it just fits over like this. And with a pen, you could draw the lines you want to follow for this one.
So this is the thing, you don't have to, if the word freehand freaks you out, like I know it does some people, like, oh, no, I can't possibly do that without lines, then just draw your lines on. Oh, that's absolutely fine. You can totally do that and not worry. Some of you, it's like pinning, isn't it? Some of you pin, some of you don't. Some of you go, don't need a pin. Others are like, I can't possibly do anything without a pin. So
there we go.
It's entirely up to you.
So I've drawn those lines on, and I'll just machine now. I'll start at the top here and secure it along this edge.
Okay.
And then bring it along and just swoop up and down just to give a bit of a sweep
Give it
of
a
fringe.
swoop. Yes. And that's quite an easy starting point, isn't it, with this? And in fact, I'll go and grab the instructions in just one moment, and you can see all of this is in the pattern. What we pride ourselves with Jo is working very hard, side by side with her, making sure that we get all of the instructions photographed at those vital moments, so step by step, and so that you can really see how to work it. So that's always a great way. Now, at the moment, as you can see, if you want to start buying, please do give us a call, 0800 112 4433. And you're just swooping out. We'll go through the kits in just one moment properly. I realise we've had a slightly different start to the morning this morning, but it's always nice to, mix things up a little bit.
Keeps us all on our toes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You've got nice sparkly toes this morning.
I have.
Very nice.
There's always room for glitter, I think, in any outfit.
Even discreet shoe glitter.
Bit of shoe glitter.
In fact, whilst you do that, I'm going to grab an instruction so that we can have a look through those as well. So just gently curve through. Could you do this with your free motion
You could, I think.
foot, or just...
I mean, I always just use my standard foot. This machine line along the top here doesn't matter so much because this one will be in the seam allowance.
Oh, okay. Do you need to increase or decrease the stitch length or anything like that before you start?
You could decrease it a little bit if you wanted to, just then it's a little bit easier to stay on course. The wider the stitches, the easier it takes more fabric at a time.
Okay.
It's easy to sort of fall off the edge, if that makes sense.
Now, I promised you instructions. Let me show you these because they are incredibly detailed. So whichever kit you get, then you'll get the full instructions with it. And here they are. So we'll just get in on those. So here they are. And this is the joy. So this is where we've started here. You can see this is exactly where we've started here this morning. And then you just follow step by step. All written instructions down there. We all learn differently, don't we?
Yes.
All learn differently. So it's lovely that you've got, well, that's just it. So you've got the photographic, you've got the words that go with it, and then you've got the shows that you can watch back too. And then, of course, you get all of the templates. Now, it might be that you had the magazine and you had the template in the magazine, but actually sometimes I don't like to cut into a magazine. I like it to just be perfect, in which case you're getting all of these in here anyway. And you're not having to try and source the tutu or anything else like that. It's all in there, ready for you to go.
Okay, so I've stitched this hair in place. It might be a bit more obvious on the back. And then anywhere that the felt overlaps, just trim it back to the cotton fabric, just so we're working to that edge, and we'll be taking the seam allowance with the cotton bit, because felt does sometimes move a bit.
Okay.
And before you stitched it on, if you wanted to add a little bit of the glue pens, would be good to hold it in place if you wanted to before you started.
Do you know, the more I see of those glue pens, the more I realise that you can baste your zips with it, you can baste all your English paper piecing with it. It's a handy piece of kit to have. We had one on the show yesterday. Very good.
Just trim that bit there. Okay, so they're almost, I'll do the ears in a minute, but in the face, just to give it a bit of shape so it's not completely two-dimensional. There's some darts here at either side of the chin and at the top.
Okay.
Just to give it a little bit of roundness.
Now, if you had to give your top tips on darts, what would it be?
It would be, generally they need to be tapered in. So, whereas the cutting the fabric ends there, graduate the seam right in so you get a nice smooth finish. And I always sew from the outside edge down, apart from if I'm working with fleece.
Okay. Okay, so
I find it easier to go the other way.
But we're not working with fleece today. Now, if you would like the Leading Lady Ballerina kit, you get 1 metre of fabric. You get 1/2 metre of that is the skin, 1/2 metre is for her leotard. You also get 1/2 metre of netting as well. It's quite hard to source that, actually. It was really quite hard to source, but we've done it for you, so you don't have to go out there and try and find it. That's $26.99. I believe it makes 2. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Phew, there you go. Lots of you adding it to your basket. Please do check out those baskets. 0800 112 4433. If you need to call and just double check that you're getting the right one, or if you want another, if you want the dark head one, just give us a call and customer services can sort all of that out for you, which is just lovely. They're a very helpful bunch.
I love, is it Sean's troupe before? They were fabulous.
Weren't they brilliant?
Really great.
Absolutely brilliant. So when you do your darts, you just taper off. You draw it in, taper it off. Do you shorten the stitch length or anything like that?
I don't. I use a shorter stitch length generally for toys. So for this,
oh, do you?
I've around about 2. I'm on 1.8 at the minute. Only it just makes the seam stronger.
I think that's where I've gone wrong in the past.
It does. Because when you're stuffing, I really push to get the shape of the seam, so I want them quite strong.
Yes, I must remember to do that.
It does mean, though, if you've gone wrong, it takes longer to unpick, though. And we all go wrong.
Yes.
Did a little bit of unpicking yesterday. So these darts are only small, so I've not graduated the ends. I've just sewn straight across with that 6mm, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then it should give the face a little bit more
lovely
shape.
Lovely. Okay. So we've got the back head, we've got the front of the face. When do you add all the detailing in?
The facial features and things, right at the very end.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's all hand finishing.
Oh, nice.
I mean, you could. I always like to see the finished doll before and then draw the face on. I mean, you could if you were more comfortable with embroidering the face on now, but just bear in mind the seam allowances.
Yeah, because that changes obviously the whole thing, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, I think as a more inexperienced sewer, I'd be waiting until it was all done together. Now, so many of you have got these in the baskets. Please do check out. Now, the first one that we brought to air when we had the well, let's just call it the Mini Joe.
The accidental Mini Joe. I'm more comfortable with that.
So the accidental Mini Joe sold so well. That's why we've brought back another version, because a lot of you said, but you know, let's have some different hair colours and things. So we've come back with a blonde, and $26.99 for that. So many of you with all of them in your baskets. Please check out your baskets. Joe, before we do anything else, I'm going to go and have a quick look at the kits fully, and then we'll be back. A little bit here, a little bit there this morning. Now, let's go through the blonde kit. We'll come to that in just one moment. Now, in each of these kits, of course, you do get full instructions. Our kits are pretty comprehensive, which is really lovely. You get a big bag of stuffing as well, which is down here because there wasn't room on the desk. So for each of the kits, you get that. Stuff that back down there. Now, like I say, you also get 2 skeins, embroidery skeins, so you can do features. You're getting a pale pink and a black, so you can do cheeks with the pink and the detailing on the ballet shoes, and then you can do your eyes and everything with black. You also get your thread so that you can sew everything together. You are going to get your yellow felt, your blonde felt, I should probably say. You get 1/2 metre there of your skin tone, flesh tone. You get 1/2 metre of your pink spot on for the leotard. So that is your that's your metre of fabric. But then you also get 1/2 metre of your netting so that you can do many a tutu. Oh yes, and all of that plus instructions and the wadding for $26.99. Now, we've also got the accidental Mini Joe, which is the original one to make this. So with your instructions here, and you get this with each of the kits. Remember, you're getting step-by-step, really clear instructions. And if you're watching the show back as well, remember, just write down the date, so today's date, and then you can go back onto YouTube, Sewing Quarter, today's date, that's all you need to type in. And the shows will come up, and you can fast forward and rewind to the bits that you need to get to help you to make these when we get to the demos. That is all of your templates, so you can make these multiple times. And that's everything you'll get in the kit. So, This is the Mini Joe. The only difference is just the hair colour. That's it. That's all you're getting. The kits are exactly the same apart from the hair colour. Ba-da-ba. Whee! And so off we go with that. So let's have a look. I love the fact that she does the splits. We discovered this the other day. She's ever so athletic. So if you would love the leading lady ballerina there, which was the original one, $26.99, and the only difference in the kit is the hair colour. There you go. I'm coming back to you, Jo.
About the back hair, which I should have mentioned, make sure on the templates there's a notch marker for where the ear falls. Make sure you transfer that so that you get the hair pieces the right way round on the back.
So your kits are a little bit like dressmaking in that you just transfer any notch that you see on the pattern on the template onto there, and then you're going to be absolutely fine. You'll have all the placement marks that you need. Yes,
but these pieces, once you've cut them out, it's hard to remember which bit can be the top if you haven't marked the notches on. So that's a tip with those. So I'll move that out of the way.
A hair top tip.
A hair top tip. The ears, one on top of the other, right sides together, and just sew around the edge.
Now, the beauty of this fabric is that there is no right side. And that really makes things easy, especially if this is one of the first toys that you're making. You're not having to worry about right sides or whatever with the flesh tone because it's the same both sides. That helps me. It's one less thing to worry about.
And it's quite a small curve, but just do it a couple of stitches at a time and pivot. I still do it this way.
You don't even take your hand off the lever, do you? You keep it there the whole time.
I do. And I have one of these now. So
do you?
I do.
Oh, fabulous. When did you get that?
I've had it 2 weeks, maybe.
Really?
It's already been put through its paces quite...
excellent.
Quite significantly.
I love this, you see. Our machines, when we first started as a channel nearly a year ago now, we're coming up to our first birthday, we had a day where lovely Jane from Elna came in and all the guests came in that we had lined up, and we all sat down and we learnt how to use the machines, because, you know, every machine's different, it's got different little intricacies, and straight from there, Lucy Brennan fell in love with the exact same machine, and that was it. I think it was her dad and her nan clubbed together and bought her one. And now you've got one as well, and it is very much becoming the machine of choice. I think that's our most popular machine.
Is it?
Bar none.
Well, yeah, I love it.
It's the Elna 680EX, if you're wondering which one we're talking about. But let's go back to these ears.
Okay, so I've just clipped V-shaped notches in the seam allowance just to remove some of the bulk. And then I'll turn this the right way out.
Yeah.
There we go, and I've done one ear already.
Pre-eared.
Pre-eared.
Now, when we do animals' ears, often there's a little bit of stuffing that goes in there as well, but no.
With these, no, I've kept it as easy as possible because they're really small, and because the seam allowance does a little bit of stuffing.
Okay.
But because they're small, it'd be quite fiddly to get a stuffed ear. But if somebody wants to add stuffing, if you want a chunkier ear, don't.
If you want a ballerina that looks like the FA Cup, then stuff them. Now you've got to start checking out those baskets. That's not me saying that. Well, it is me saying that. It's producer Paul telling me to tell you that. It's like ventriloquism. But he doesn't want people missing out. Very generous guy, our producer Paul. Doesn't want anybody missing out. So when you get the instructions, of course, this kit makes 2. Now, you might have a couple of little girls in your life. It might be that you make one and then gift one. Then that's absolutely great to do. So 2 kits today, different hair colours. Whether you're going for blonde or brunette is entirely up to you. It has not gone unnoticed that it now looks like both of us.
I should do longer legs, really, for this one.
One that's slightly less balletic and a bit more elephant-like in their movements. That would be me.
I obviously can do the splits exactly like...
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. Yeah.
But there's no room behind it.
No. You just wouldn't be able to see it on camera, else, we'd both be, doing the splits and all sorts.
Can I take the instructions?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Just so I make sure
you do it
I do it in order.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Right, and once the ears are done, I'm just going to base those into position on the face, and there are markers on the templates to show where the ears go. I'll just do this very quickly.
Now, when you baste in place, Because we say all these terms, don't we? But if you are new to any of this, you want to go, well, they say based in place. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? When we're basting, you've got your seam allowance, and you want to be within that seam allowance so that when you finally sew and you turn it through, you don't see that stitch. It's hidden within.
Yes, basting stitches are often removed, but actually if you do it within the seam allowance, there's no need to. And it holds them in place. Later on when the face is sewn to the back of the head, it means they're not going to slip and you're not going to finish up with ears that aren't level.
But because you baste in place the legs and the arms and all of that as well. And they're the ones that get swung around a bit, aren't they? So it helps to reinforce all of that. And I have to say, because what I love about a lot of your makes is that the arms and the legs are such a circumference that little hands fit round them and love them.
They are quite handy handles to carry them by.
Right. My niece has taken up ballet. She just absolutely adores it. And Miss Emma, her ballet teacher, it's always Miss Emma, gets away with just everything. Miss Emma says, Miss Emma says, Miss Emma says this, Miss Emma says that. Right. Good toes, naughty toes, all of that.
Yes, I never did ballet, so.
Didn't you?
No. I think my feet were probably too small
to balance on.
To support
Standing up was an issue. Hey, you know what I found out yesterday? Victoria Pete, she's actually a trained gymnast coach. Yeah, but she could do the splits. I should have asked her, shouldn't I?
Should. Next time.
Next time. Yes. It's a whole other show. Now, we've got the leotard.
Yes.
No lycra.
No lycra.
Goodness.
No.
Right.
It's a little bit easier to stitch with this cotton. The front of the leotard goes over the body. So this is the front body piece, and then the leotard goes over it. So we join the leotard, place them two exactly the same pieces, one on top of the other, and sew together around the V, just to give the neckline.
So around the V, right. Okay.
So pause at the bottom of the V with the needle down through the fabric.
So is this...
There we go.
Is this just the front of the leotard?
It's just the front.
So it's double thickness?
Yes. The front,
the
front is free, but the back is integral. It's part of the body.
Okay. I see. Right. I'm with you. Because I was trying to work out how you were going to do the V and not have it so that there were raw edges. And this is, of course, how?
Yes.
2 layers.
And it's just to prevent raw edges and a difficult seam if it was just one layer.
No,
For me, this is a bit easier.
I'm all for this.
So clip down into the V so that it will turn out nicely. And then... And
that's the only bit you clip, just down into that V?
Just down into that bit.
Well,
almost up to the stitches, but not quite.
I guess the rest is a straight line, isn't it?
It is, so it should form quite a
nice
nice V.
iron? Should I have turned that on at some point?
I'll finger press it, so I'll just give it a good...
Just as well, because it's not turned on yet.
I did think about it before. I thought, no, I'll just give it a good finger press. There we go. So that gives the V of the leotard.
Lovely. Yes.
And then this needs to be basted in position on top of the front body piece.
Oh, nice. So it is that extra body piece. It's not... It's, like you say, this is separate at the front, but integrated at the back.
Yes.
Is that right?
And because they mirror each other, it just fits straight over the top. And you could baste the edges of this together before you then basted it onto this, but for the sake of time...
It's always time.
Baste it straight on.
Always time, isn't it? Now, are you going to baste all the way round or just the shoulders?
All the way round.
All the way round. Whilst you do that, guess what I'm going to go and do? I'm going to go look at some kits.
Okay.
Alrighty, now, if you saw the start of the hour, you might have seen this. And a lot of you message and go, well, hang on a minute, where's this come from? Now, we've got a kit for you, and what you get in the kit is everything to do the applique. Then we've got other kits for the fabric for the bag, because I don't know what you want to do. It might be that you want to have this up as an embroidery or whatever you want to do. So in order to do that applique, we've got a kit with a packet of Bondaweb. You've got your skein if you wish to hand embroider around it there. You've also got your pattern and full instructions. Now, this is there as a guide as to where to put the pieces. The actual size of it when it's made up is there. It's larger, okay? There, that's the actual size of it. But we've put the skein so that if you wanted to blanket stitch around it or anything like that, you have that option there. And then you get a 1/2 meter, because as you can see on here, you've got a 1/2 meter of this lighter pink, and then you've got a 1/2 meter of the flamingo pink there, so that you've got the 2 different varieties. Now, what you then choose to put this on is entirely up to you. It might be that you've got, I don't know, it might be that you're putting it onto some bedding or onto a bag, but we've got some fabric options for you, so you can make your own bag as well. So it's $14.99, you get a meter of fabric, you get the template, you get your Bondaweb, you get your skein. There's a lot in that kit. There's a lot. Now, we think that these fabrics work beautifully with it, so we've put a couple of options together for you. So if you would like plain pinks, then you can put together a 2-tone bag like that. And then it's all about the pink. Some little girls are all about the pink, aren't they? And big girls too. So $9.49, and you're getting a 1.5 meters of your pinks. And they all work beautifully together. So you can do however you wish. So you've got your baby pink, you've got magenta, and you've got candy floss all in there, looking really rather beautiful. Now, maybe you want the spots. And if you would like the spots, then here they are. And we've got 3 of those for you today. Now, our spot-ons are always incredibly popular, and here they are again. So you've got raspberry in there, you've got cheeky pink, and your candy for $14.49, and that's a 1/2 meter of each of those. Wonderful. Now, the other thing that we have is some embroidery. Now, again, this could go in a hoop, this could go on a bag. Adele in the office, our Adele, she did this for us this morning. Well, not this morning. She finished it off, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. This is called Arabesque, and it's just beautiful. The elegance, the line, she's absolutely captured it. So in this kit, what you're getting is the template for this. So you don't have to be an artist. You don't have, well, I couldn't quite draw those lines. It's fine, don't worry. Because you're getting the template here. There it is. There it is. Absolutely spot on. And then you've also got 1/2 meter of this grey. So you could make a bag out of that 1/2 meter of grey and stitch that on. And then you're also getting a white and a light pink skein. So you've got your basics there, so that you can make something as stunning as that. Gorgeous. So we've got the bag, we've got the applique that you can put on a bag or bedding or anything that you've got. We've got the embroidery, and then of course we've got the doll kits. So in terms of the blonde kit, let's have a look. So this little ballerina here, we've got everything that you need. So you get your wadding, you get your instructions, you get your blonde hair, you get 1/2 meter of your netting for your tutu, you get thread, you get 2 different embroidery skeins, you get your pink for your leotard, and you get your flesh. This is brand new today. We've never done this as a blonde. And that's $26.99. That kit will make 2. That's good going, isn't it? That's good going. And then we've got the accidental mini Joe kit. You will never live this down, Joe, ever. So if you want to have a little mini me, then here it is. There's your different coloured hair. So it's just exactly the same kit. Just depends which hair colour you fancy. It's the thing, isn't it? If you've got grandkids and you're making for the grandchildren, same but different.
Yes.
Got to be done.
If you don't want fights over them.
Fisticuffs over the ballet, never a good look.
Yeah, it's not a good mix, is it?
So when I left you, you were basting around the edge, so everything is held in place with the front tutu and the body.
Yes.
Okay.
It's held together as one piece now. That
Nice.
front section. And then these are the back pieces. And we need to stitch these together along the shoulder. It's in the instructions, but they just fit like that. So this is the curved edge for the neck.
Oh, it's like a little bit of dressmaking, isn't it?
It is. I think I need to do more dressmaking. I think it would help my dolls.
Oh, you do. Purely in the interests of doll making. Oh, we've had an email from Kate in Cornwall. Hello, Kate in Cornwall. Oh, no pasties today. Oh, I could do a pasty today. My lovely sister gifted me a Simply Sewing subscription. Oh, I love that when you get a subscription because it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is.
I love Jo's designs. Instructions are always easy to follow. Happy sewing. Oh, look at that. You see, they all look different, don't they, when they're made?
They do. She's
The
brilliant.
character. Nice rosy cheeks on that one. Thank you, Kate, for sharing. And that's the beauty of it. I think this is, having now been on air for almost a year, the thing that always staggers me is how generous everybody is with sharing. You know, you share your designs, you share your makes. It's just lovely.
It is. I love it. And people get in touch as well with pictures of things that they've made, and there's nothing better than seeing that things have been made.
Yes. And look great too. That's the other thing. Now, we have got 15 minutes with you, Jo.
Okay.
At home, that means that you've got to start checking out those baskets. So many of you sitting with these in your basket. Now, remember, you can check out as many times as you like throughout the day, but it is only secured once you have checked out. Our postage and packing is £2.95 per day. So check out as many times as you like. It's not added on per time you check out. It's added on at the end of the day. Okay.
Okay. They're joined on the shoulders, and this opening now is what the bottom of the head will be sewn to. So it looks a bit confusing, but it is. It's there in the pictures, so if you're unsure...
Right now it looks like the weirdest angel.
It does a little bit. It is.
I kind of like these stages with you, though, Jane, because we do always, with every single make, and you'll see this with the unicorn later, every single time we get to this stage, it's like, that really doesn't look like what it's going to finish up like. I have no idea how this is going to work.
It will be fine. And I've just,
Yeah, every faith.
yes. I mean, look, halfway through, it does tend to look like something else altogether. But I've just popped a pin in to line up the centre of this piece and the head, just so that the head's on.
Doesn't move.
It's looking forwards when it's finished.
Now, often when you sew a curve, you start from the middle and go out, and then start from the middle and go out, and you find that easy. But here, you're going to do it from one edge all the way through. In a wanna, as we like to call it.
I like to keep the neck piece on top. So to do that, I have to do it all the way around. Because if you sew out from the middle each time, there we go. It'll have to be flipped over at some point.
Yeah. What seam allowance is this throughout?
6 millimetres or 1/4 inch.
Oh, okay.
So it is quite small, but with toys you can't really have too chunky a seam allowance.
Especially not with something as elegant as our ballerina. So round you go, that concentration as you go around. I think for me the key is you keep lifting that foot, needle down, spinning the fabric.
Yep. Oh, I thought it was a shadow. I've caught a little tuck in there. So what I'm going to do is just take those stitches out.
This happens.
It does.
And this is the thing, is that don't, push it to one side and go, oh, I can't possibly do it, I'm dreadful, I'm rubbish. It's not, it just happens. It's just one of those things. So if you do catch a little bit of fabric.
It's really easily remedied. Just to make sure I'm catching the stitches and not the fabric. Just
there
undo those stitches. Take the crease out. Don't undo.
Can I just show? So you can see there, like that. Jo had just caught the stitch and it had a little crease. So she's just unpicked literally a couple of stitches there. You can see.
Just the ones that caught the fold.
Yeah.
Straightened it out. Leave all the other stitches in and just go over it. So I'll start a little bit
before. I had to
before
pick all of it.
It all fits nicely. It's just that little tuck. So just gone forwards and backwards just to secure the thread. and I'm getting to that point again, and I'm just going to stitch over the stitches that were taken out.
So actually you've reinforced it, if anything.
It is, it's fine. Little things like that always happen. There we go, and that time it's on.
Perfect.
Perfectly. So I'll pop that to one side. It will finish.
It does look weird.
Pop a face on. But the next job is to put the arms in.
There we go. And producer Paul said he did ballet at uni. He got a tutu. No, I'm not saying any more of your jokes, producer Paul. He's got loads. He's got loads of them.
With the arm, it can be helpful to draw in the seam allowance so you've got a guide to follow, especially around the thumb here. And then you can just do a couple of stitches, pause with the needle down and pivot. So stitch around the arm. I've got some ready-made arms.
Ready-made, pre-made arms. Now, the joy with this is you always work with a water erasable pen. We've got those on the website. We always carry them, and you always ask for one, always. Which means that you might be thinking, oh my goodness, but you know that's going to show. It's like when you drew it onto the felt. No, don't worry. Just a little bit of water, and that will lift completely.
It will, it'll sponge right off.
Yeah.
And then once it's sewn, clip into the thumb there, a little one there, and then V-shaped notches.
And that will just help ease that in.
It will.
Now, the one that Joe's demoing with this morning is our brand new blonde version, and that's $26.99. This is the kit. All that changes is the colour of the hair. That's it. Everything else in the kit, exactly the same. You just get different coloured felt. Okay. That's it.
Whilst I'm doing arms, I'll do legs at the same time.
Well, why not?
So that's how the arms go together, and I have some...
Pick a limb, any limb.
I have some limbs here. So when it's done and stuffed, it should be like that.
Lovely. Any tips for stuffing?
Nice thin stick, just to really push the stuffing into the seams, just to get the shapes. You can always just push it I push it down to the bottom, get this shape, and then stuff the rest much more lightly, but as long as I've got the shape of the thumb and the hand. And
do you really pull apart the stuffing first?
I'll give it a fluff up first.
A good fluff, because you're getting a big bag of stuffing with this. I think it's 250 grams or something of stuffing, which is a lot of stuffing. So fluff it, and then in.
Yes.
Lots of you sending in images, which is just fabulous. Another quick email. Sally's emailed in. I think she's really captured everyone's imagination, your ballerina. She says, good morning, Joe and Tash. And all of the crew, oh, it's nice when they get mentioned. Attached is my take on Joe's ballerina. Just love the show, and it's even better now it's on Sky. Thank you. So Sally, hey Sally, react please.
And the Lord.
That's beautiful. What? Has she got a label on?
I think she has. I think little bows on her shoes as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, she's done it with ribbon. Oh, gorgeous. I love different takes.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
So that's the arm. The legs. The back of the leg has a longer sort of back of shoe. And then the front leg just has that tiny little bit on the bottom. So they're stitched on. And once they're attached, the front and back should be the same size, and just sew around the edge to give the legs.
So then when you've got the legs, the stitching on of the ballet ribbons is done...
I do that right at the end.
Right at the end, again with everything else, all of those detailings done at the end. Like drumsticks.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What's next?
Leave the end relatively free of stuffing. It just makes it easier to sew in. I'll base the ends of all these together, just so that the ends are level when they're stitched in place. Do you do that with a
straight stitch or a zigzag, or what's best to do that with?
Just a straight stitch. You could do a wider stitch if you wanted.
Trouble is, do you know what would happen, Joe? If I started messing around with my stitch length, having shortened it, I'd forget, and I'd forget to put it back.
I always do.
To shorter, so I think I'd just keep it. For me, just because I'm a bit of a scatterbrain. Wendy in the office, bless her, she said, you know, the blonde version is better at pirouetting. And I sort of gave her a look. She said, well, you know, that's Dizzy Blonde's, Tash. Okay, should only a blonde will get that. Oh, all right. We'll give you that one.
So I'm doing the same with the arms.
And in they go.
And if they are stuffed right to the end, they are much more difficult to fit in place.
That's a little tip that you don't necessarily would realise. I wouldn't necessarily realise. I'd be like, yeah, stuff the legs, but no.
And you also get a little bit more movement.
So that she can do the splits.
Yes.
And leap gracefully.
She's more
through
flexible.
The air. Yeah, if only that were just the way. Less stuffing makes us more flexible.
Right, so I'm going back to this piece now, and I'm going to fit the arm in the side there. You can pin it if you want. And then fold that over and stitch down the side, and that sandwiches the arm in place. Make sure the top of the arm is at the top of the seam.
Are you basting that in?
You can baste it in. I'm not going to. I'm just going to go for it.
Aren't you?
Because it fits right in at the top.
Yeah, it's fine. So you've got about 5 minutes, Jo.
Okay,
not
I'll try
to alarm you.
Speed up a little bit.
Just to let you know.
I don't know what's under the desk that feels like the pedal, but I keep trying to get the machine to work with it. I'm thinking, I keep standing on something that's not right.
It's the lead extender. Our desks are too high for the length of the lead, so we have to extend them. Oh no, the brown haired version, the brunette, has taken over. Not like the world, but she's taken over in terms of sales. There she is, doing the splits. Always wanted to be able to do the splits. I always thought that was it. I would have made it as a dancer if I could do the splits, so I just never made it. It's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to do the other one. So she has 2 arms. Keep the neck piece out of the way because I don't want to get that trapped in.
Oh no. Producer Paul has always said from the start he reckons that this is one of your best makes. He really thinks it's, and I think it is. You know, every little girl, and you know, a fair few boys as well, have wanted to be graceful and dance, and you know, just be really good at it. Oh yeah, Producer Paul says rugby players do ballet for dance for balance, don't they now?
Sorry.
And all those sorts of things. Being a dancer is a proper athlete.
You have to be really strong,
Gosh,
don't you?
yes. Absolutely. I mean, that's a workout if you've got to spin around a ballet dancer.
And core strength as well to hold poses and things.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you just try holding your arms out for 5 minutes. Whew.
I'm never quite sure how hairdressers can hold a hairdryer and do that. I always watch.
Well, it's all about hair today, isn't it? Blonde, brunette, whatever it is. Yeah, no, they must have good, well-toned arms. Yeah. These aren't other mysteries that we ponder about.
There's a lot of time in the hairdresser's chair, though, to think these things, I think.
I'll ask my lovely Mandy hairdresser next time I see her.
Well, I asked my hairdresser once, and she just looked at me as if it was the strangest question ever, so I just glossed over it quickly. Right, I'm going to put the face in now. Now she's got her arms. So from the dart in the top of the face, I'm going to line that up with one side. Obviously, want to leave the seam allowance at the end there, and I'm going to sew.
You see, that's another thing that I would forget, and then go, oh, it's all a bit skew-if. What's going on? So you leave the seam allowance because you've still got the back of the head to sew down, haven't you?
And you could always do this if you're a bit nervous because it's a circle. Make sure she's looking the right way. Do it with a wide stitch. Make sure it's on straight, and then just go over the top.
Hang on. Looking the right way. There's an option for her to be.
Well, she could be sort of. If it didn't quite go straight.
Producer Paul wants one with a wink. Do ballet dancers wink? Have you ever seen, you know, in the middle of the Swan Lake or Giselle? I'm sure that's not right.
A serious business, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it? Absolutely.
But I saw a brilliant. Somebody'd made them little winking ballerinas, and they were so cute. I think I'll find the picture.
Okay. So maybe we won't tell Producer Paul that ballet dancers don't wink. He says he's rarely wrong. He says you've got to check out those baskets. Well, 17 of you have got the brunette unchecked out. It's not checked out until you confirm and you check out your baskets. Check out as many as you like throughout the day. It doesn't matter. We'll only ever charge you $2.95 P&P per day. Each kit makes 2. We've got lots of you buying both. You're having your own troupe. Well done. So congratulations. We've got about 2 minutes left. That's a great shot. Look at that. Brilliant. You can really see that all coming together beautifully. Nice. So make sure you check out those baskets. Yeah, round it comes. Now, if you are watching on replay, because you can do that now.
I know.
On Sky, you know, flicking through the other night, there was John. Then you can just give us a call, 0800 112 4433. So just make sure that you're calling if you're watching on a replay.
And also a helpful thing, because the ears are here, if your hair doesn't quite match up, it doesn't matter because they're disguised by the ears.
Those little things just help, don't they?
They do.
Now we've got about a minute. What can we see in a minute?
Okay, I'll try and go over the main parts. The skirt is made of 2 pieces of net, and you can use a cool iron on it and press it in half.
Okay.
And then put the folded edges together, nice wide stitch.
So here you do have to think about your stitch length.
All the way along, knot it at one end and gather up to make the skirt. Should I do that very quickly?
Very, very quickly, yes.
Actually,
now, I realise that obviously we're running out of time this morning. Jo will be back again at 10 in an hour. Yes,
Yep.
10 o'clock. I can add an hour onto 9 o'clock, it's fine. And you're going to be in with the unicorn, but if you did have any questions or anything that you wanted to ask, please do just message in your questions. We'll keep them until then. So if there's anything, you know, really vital that we missed. Now,
this is one I made last time, but I thought to show how the legs go in, because the skirt, it's all in the instructions. It's quite straightforward. The only added thing that you might not be aware of with the skirt, so that it folds downwards, there's some top stitching with the seam allowance pressed a certain way. So with the seam allowance going up, it makes sure the skirt faces down and doesn't end up in a face.
Doesn't have a Marilyn Monroe effect.
Yes. Now this is the bottom of the body, and that stitches around. The skirt is here, and then we sew together along the back, and then fold it the other way, and stitch along this bottom section, just in between the legs, and that leaves an opening either side that the legs fit into.
Can I just show that? So you've stitched down that back there. Oh, you did it in a nice dark thread so we can see, thank you. So you've stitched down the back there. So that's that bit stitched down there. And then on the base there, that's that bit there. So it does look like a giant nappy, basically.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And that little bit in between just gives the opening either side for the legs to fit into.
So then in that opening there, bloomers, I should maybe say, rather than nappies.
It does.
So then you stuff the leg in there.
Yes.
There you go, you've got a leg.
Let's make sure it's the right one. Let's have a think. If it goes in that way, no, that would be on backwards.
You don't want one with 2 left feet, do you? That would not be ideal.
And because it's angled at the top, it does make it a little trickier, but if there's not so much filling in the top, that helps a lot.
Denise says, could I have the email address? Many thanks, love the show. Yes, of course you may. It's studio@sewingquarter.com. Oh, okay, so
Wrong
when
leg.
you... Wrong leg. When you, does the words, Natasha, words. You see, still, no words. When you stick the leg through, does it come out a head? Does it matter if it comes?
It does.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
The back of the leg. And this bit is fiddly, and it's worth, once the leg's in position, really pinning it in place.
It's a good job she's bendy, isn't it?
It is. This is where her flexibility really comes into its own.
Yes, it does. She's worked hard for this. Brilliant. Brilliant.
So pin those in position and then sew straight across, and that will sandwich the leg.
Brilliant.
In place.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jo. Wow, stunning. If we need to, if anybody messages in with a vital question, then we might have a little recap in 10 o'clock. But if that's clear for everybody and you've seen all the bits that you need to see, then that's great. We will be pure unicorn at 10. More sentences you never will hear in any other job. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Ha-ha, now. A lot of you are going for the ballet shoes applique. Ta-da! Beautiful, isn't it? Now, in order to make the bag, because you get the fabric for the actual applique for the shoes. Now, we've put bundles of fabric together for you to make up a bag, but you might not have wanted it on a bag. You might have something else you're putting it onto. It's entirely up to you. But what you get in the kit is this fabric, 1/2 meter of this fabric, which is your flamingo, 1/2 meter of the paler one there. You get the pattern, you get the bonder web, and you also get a skein, so that if you want to embroider a name, or if you want to blanket stitch around it, then it's entirely up to you. But that's the kit with all of that in there for you. Brilliant. Now, let's have a look at the fabrics for you. So the Spots fabric is the most popular, and these are the 3/2 meters that you get. So you can make bags, you can do all sorts of goodies for them. Little ballet bag, a little school bag, book bag, whatever you're making. $14.49 for 1.5 meters of fabric. And of course, you'll have that pattern, so you can just keep appliquing on everything. Maybe, I think a duvet set would be lovely. Now, we've also got the plains here for you as well. Maybe you want to get both and mix and match like we did, then that's entirely up to you. £9.49 for the plains, 1.5 meters of those, plain pink fabric bundle for 1.5 meters for £9.49. Now, our gorgeous Adele in the office, and bless her, she has done this. Now, imagine this. Maybe a blanket that you make for someone who loves their ballet, and you just do a panel that has this stitched on, or if you want to do this as a wall hanging and you know, put it in a hoop and give it as a gift, it's entirely up to you. Or maybe you're doing a ballet bag and you want to stitch that onto the ballet bag, it's entirely up to you. But what you're getting in our kit is a 1/2 meter of the grey. So you could make a bag out of that 1/2 meter of grey, but you're also getting the template as well, which is just so elegant, isn't it? This is our arabesque. And did Adele draw that and design it? Well done, Adele. She's a good one, isn't she? And then you've got your white and your pink skein there, so that you can be making that stunning. Now, what we also have for you is a blonde or a brunette ballet dancer. Now, of course, you get 2 in a kit. You can make 2 out of your kit. So if you're going for blonde, then you get, of course, your full instructions, wadding. You get a 1/2 meter of your net fabric, and you get your blonde hair. You also get your thread, your 2 different skeins for your embroidery. You get your leotard fabric, 1/2 meter of leotard, 1/2 meter of skin. There we go. Now that is for your blonde, $26.99. That will make 2. Now for the brunette, exactly the same. What changes is this. And that's all the difference that you get. So again, full instructions, wadding, 1/2 meter of your netting, you get your different coloured hair, you get your 2 different skeins there. So many of you with this in the basket. That is your leotard, 1/2 meter of your leotard fabric, 1/2 meter of your skin fabric, and you are good to go. Right. After the break, we have got Eliot from Stitch Me Kits in, and he's going to tell you how you can pick your favourite photo, stitch it and immortalise it forever in tapestry form. So we will see you after a very short break. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, apart from maybe to grab a cup of tea, and I'll see you in just a moment.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
Join us on Wednesday the 7th of February when we're thrilled to welcome Tula Pink into the Sewing Quarter family with her debut show. Tula Pink's fabric designs are inspired by her love of animals and nature, and she enjoys hiding animal characters in unusual places in her illustrations. Her bold use of colour and patterns makes her fabrics a joy to quilt and sew with. Tula also has her own range of tools to add a special touch to your workroom. Her biggest fans include our own designers Lucy Brennan and Joe Carter. Like many people around the world, they're inspired by her gorgeous fabrics, so we can't wait to reveal these exciting prints and accessories. So join Tula for her Sewing Quarter debut on Wednesday the 7th of February. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Hi, my name's Joe Carter, and these are my top 3 tips. My first tip would be, even if your sewing room is normally a real mess, and mine always is, try and take the time to organise your fabric, your stash into colour order, because being able to see it and have it there meaning you can pick out the colours and have them to hand and try fabrics together really does help when you're quilting, and it means you use all of your fabric and things don't get lost and forgotten about. My second tip would be try and get to know your sewing machine. So spend an hour or an afternoon trying out buttonholes and various stitches and just get to know what it can do, because then when you've tried them, you know you can bring things into projects and make life easier a lot of the time. And my third tip would be try and sew when there's somebody else around so that they can keep you supplied with fresh cups of tea so your sewing's not interrupted.
We are celebrating our first birthday. Sewing Quarter turns 1 year old on Wednesday the 31st of January, and we're inviting you to join the party. Tune into Sewing Quarter for a special week filled with fun, for competitions and plenty of prizes, plus amazing guests and fantastic deals. Starting at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, Natasha and I will be together in the studio looking back at all the amazing highlights of our very first year. And we'll be racing against the clock with a special challenge for us. So don't miss our week of celebrations from Wednesday the 31st of January. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78, Sky Channel 678, and online at sewingquarter.com.
Now, hello, good morning, welcome back. I'm Natasha McCarthy, and this hour we've got a new company for you. Well, I say new, they've been on once before, and this is Stitch Me Kits. So, what is it, I hear you say? Well, this is your chance to take a photograph that you absolutely love and have it turned into tapestry form for you to then stitch, which is a really beautiful idea, and just absolutely exquisite. So, just like this. Beautiful. Now, Eliot's with us. This is his company with his friend Sara, and he'll explain how this all happens a little bit further. But the dog at the front, for example, if you were to want to stitch him, I mean, that would be your own dog, obviously, or, you know, I mean, just pick a random dog if you want, but generally it helps if there's some kind of emotional attachment going on there. Then this is actually Eliot's dog, and so this is how the kit will come. So you choose your photograph, you send it to Eliot, he will then transform it into a stitch kit, and then you get it sent back with everything that you need to get going. Now, we have two different sizes for you, so it's entirely up to you which one you want to go for. Now, we've got an 8 by 10 inch option for you, which is £54.99. Now, remember, everything comes in the kit. So all of your wool, all your different colours, that's all coming with it. Your needle threader, everything, all comes with it. HWM 007. There you go. It's kind of how it comes. The photo obviously is yours. I mean, this is the thing. So the photo will be yours. It will be changed. So it can be colour, it can be black and white. It's entirely up to you. And here's just, it doesn't have to be people or dogs. It can be things that you love, like your camper van or a motorbike or something like that. So that's what makes this absolutely perfect. It might be the grandkids that you're doing. It might be a favourite animal. It's entirely up to you. But this is this new size that we've got is brand new for you today, and it's an 8 by 6. So I'll show you what that looks like. In fact, if we see the pictures again, then Eliot's dog, that is the 8 by 6 size. And the other sizes are the 10 by 8s. So two different sizes there. That's the two differences in sizes, and that's £44.99. This is a beautiful way to keep those memories, keep them alive, keep them on the side, keep them in a different form, and that's the kind of thing that you can expect to get in your kit. All of 15 different colours, full instructions, your needle threader, and everything so that you are good to go. Wonderful. Now we've also got, maybe you want to, I mean, I learned to stitch with my grandmother, and she was always doing tapestries and things like that. So, and occasionally I'd be allowed to do a few little stitches with her on whatever she was working with. But back in the day, we're going back a few years, there wasn't something like this, which would have been absolutely perfect, like a starter kit for kids to get stitching, or just a quick stitch make. Now, some of these have lavender, some of them are just stuffed. It's entirely up to you which ones you're going for. So the lavender ones are the mini heart here. We've got the little heart there. And this is just $9.99, so a great way to get those grandkids stitching. Or if you're learning, then it's a great way. And this comes with lavender and filling as well, so that maybe you want to put it up in your wardrobe or just hang it up, and it's going to have that lovely aroma to just fill your house with a lovely scent. So function and form, that's what we like. $9.99 for that. Now let's have a look up here. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look at the kit for the heart then. So again, everything that you need. Oh, you get the lavender in there as well. Everything that you need, because I don't know about you, some people just don't have those size needles, you know. So $9.99 for that, GQM094. Now look at this one down here with the cupcake. Now Eliot, bless him, really thought about this, and he's made this specially for us because it is our first birthday next week. So he's done us a first birthday cupcake, but I think that's absolutely perfect to celebrate anybody's first birthday, or any birthday, in fact. And that comes with the lavender as well. And then there you go. There's your cupcake for just $9.99. What a lovely way to celebrate someone's birthday. Maybe you want to embroider on the back a name or something, or a date would be really lovely. Now the next one is here. We've called this a 4-leaf clover, but I'm thinking shamrock. I'm thinking March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. So that's $9.99, and that's ZMM0, keep saying 092. Now we've also got a shooting star with lavender in as well. It's down here. There it is. What a lovely splash of colour that one is. So if you'd like to get that one. Now you see, these can, of course, you know, these can hang anywhere. I know that, you know, when Freddie was little, I had all these sorts of things hanging, anything to combat the smell of nappies and things. There's your E there. Now, okay, you don't have to just find someone with a name that starts with E. So if you don't have someone called Eliot in your life, that's absolutely fine. You pick which letter you would like of your alphabet. So you can spell out love, you can spell out names, you can do all sorts of things with these, or just initials, and that's $9.99 for each letter. Now, Producer Paul, why am I bearing with? What are we doing next? Oh, the Bearpaw. I think, oh, that's why I said bear with him. The Bearpaw. Now, this doesn't come with lavender, but I think it's really gorgeous. You could, of course, use these as pincushions or anything. You know, it's entirely up to you how you use it, but what a great way to get stitching. I think dog paw too. It doesn't have to be a bear paw, but I really love that. Now, Emoji Face. If you're getting down with the kids, they love an emoji. In fact, Jo said to me, she said, my mum's very trendy with it. She likes an emoji. There you go. And of course, maybe this is an alternative to your Valentine's. Maybe you want to send a heart emoji. Then you've got that option too. And be very on trend. And then up at the top here for your little angel, there it is. So that's our last option for you. And again, just a great start. So $9.99, GUM017. There we go. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go and meet the man behind the designs. It's Eliot. Hello, Eliot. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. So happy to be here.
Now, Eliot, this is your hound.
This is my hound. This is my baby rescue dog, who I love. And coincidentally, her name was Ellie when I got her.
Oh, Ellie and Eliot.
Yes.
Oh, how fabulous. Now, again, lovely to have forever, as on the side here. Here she is, all stitched up, looking fabulous. It does look wonderful. I think it's one of those things that on the side, it just looks amazing from afar. And then as you come in close, you're like, oh, hang on a minute, that's actually stitched.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Exactly. And it's so simple.
Now, this is your company, Eliot.
Yes.
You and your friend Sara, you went to school together,
yes,
and then
many years.
Reconnected many years, well, not many years on, that sounds so rude, doesn't it? A few years later, shall we say, and you came up with this company. Now, what do we need to do when we've got a favourite photo that we want to immortalise in stitching? What do we do?
So, first of all, what I'd say now is you don't need your photo today. You know,
okay, right, good.
You can make your purchase, and then you'll be sent details of how to get your photo to us, either via email, or if you're old school, you can post a photograph to us. We'll make up your kit and we'll send the photograph back.
So the photo will come back.
Photo will come back.
Okay, now you've got some hints and tips as to the best way to get the best design, because you choose 15 different colours in this, don't you? So if you have a fussy background on the photo, then you might end up using up some of those colours.
Exactly.
There.
So we say the simpler the background, the better. What we can do in some cases, if it doesn't work, we can actually take out the background and replace it with a single colour.
Oh, okay.
So
there's always a way.
There is a way. There is always a way. Just takes me a little bit longer to do it.
Okay, but that's not at your extra cost. That's
It's
just
all
how it
included,
happens.
part of the service.
Do you? Do I send in my photo, you crop it, and then I just get back what you think looks great, or do I get a chance to say yay or nay?
What you do is you send in your photo. So this was the original photo that we took of Ellie, and you see from the print, it's slightly not exactly to the right proportions. So it's been cropped around.
Okay.
So we do that, and then what we do is we send you back, email you back this image of how your completed kit will look.
Right.
And if you're happy with it, we'll go ahead and make your kit. If you're not happy for any reason, we'll go back and fiddle with it, or you can send in.
So you will work with our viewers until they are absolutely happy, and only at that point does the kit get fully created.
Exactly. So at any point, they can say, "Oh, I don't like that. Decide I don't like that photo." They can send us another photo.
Oh, really? Okay. So even if you're like me and a little indecisive, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Fabulous. Okay. So I've got my photo. I've sent it off to you.
Yes.
You've twiddled and whittled and done all your magic. How does this then come to me?
Right. So what you get is you get this package here. So included in here is your instructions. Very easy to follow instructions. Absolutely no experience necessary.
Really?
It's so easy. We make it foolproof, and we'll go into that a little bit later.
I don't know. You've never given me one to do.
So
these are the instructions. We're just going to take a quick look at these instructions. So there they are for you. So there's the front there, instructions. We'll talk about that in just one moment. And then, whoa, hang on a minute. I didn't send you that colour.
Oh, well, this is what we do.
on?
We do get people sometimes contacting us. What we do is we print it in these very clean-cut colours so that you can differentiate. If you look at the wools, a lot of the colours are very similar. So if we printed it in actual colours, you wouldn't know which brown went where.
Oh, okay.
So all the walls are numbered, and on your instructions, you have a very simple key.
Now, and this is, so for me, I've given this some thought, Eliot,
Yes.
and what I would do, and this is just to try and make my life easier, this is your key. So every time you see that light blue, you know you need that particular wool number, and the wools are all labelled. So I would take a little piece of that colour. Oh, you've done it. There you go. It's exactly what you do too. There you go. Great minds. And then just tie that onto there. So you've got that reinforcement.
It helps, but what we say is it's important to try and keep the labels with each colour wool.
Yes.
So that, because especially if you were doing a black and white, the colours would be so close that you might not be able to tell from the strands there. So.
But it's that closeness in colour which gives this photographic
gives it the
look,
depth,
isn't it?
yeah, and
Wonderful.
that gives it the photo realism
Excellent.
that we're looking for.
So we've got this. We've got our key. We've got our wool, and we are good to go.
Right. So.
Now, producer Paul's just said to me, Tash, why haven't you mentioned your dog yet? I have a beautiful
Everyone
Great Dane.
talks about their pets. We get a lot of pets. Sometimes pets before kids. People doing their pets first.
Do you know, I did realise the other day that the photo on my phone is actually of my dog. It's of my Great Dane. It's not of my son. How bad is that? But for anybody that, I know a lot of you, I know I talk about Eric, but he's the Great Dane in the Aldi advert at the moment.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, that's my
marvellous.
Dane. That's my boy.
An acting family.
Well, he outshines me every single time. Now, so we've got this. We're immortalising our pets, our family, our cars, our motorbikes, whatever. Now what do we do?
Right, so you get your kit, you've got all your wools, and what we're going to do here is, what I like to do is I like to start with a block colour. I call it like an anchor colour and then work out from it. So what I did on this one is I concentrated on the green here, just to give myself an anchor, and then I went around doing all the odd stitches.
Oh, okay.
So it makes it easier, and then you can fill in, you know, so here I've done, you know, all the blues here and some of the greys, and then you've just got the orange to backfill, you know, around it. There's no right or wrong way to do it. That's just the way that I work. So you could do the blocks first and go around. So what I've done here, if I'm going to start on the green, I look down at my key and I see that's number 9268.
Okay.
So
there's a lighter green, there's a dark. You've got 3 different greens. It's very clear which one is which.
Yep. So it's clearly labelled 9268, and a very simple thing.
Hang on, let me show. So 9268. Yep.
Okay. So all we want to do is pull a strand, and you've got the 2 ends here, and if you, I don't know if we can get this, but if you pull from one end, you see it's coming from the top, whereas if you pull from this end, it's coming from the middle and it won't get knotted.
Is that why I always get in a muddle?
Yes.
Oh,
You're
Elliot,
picking the wrong end.
Oh, if only I'd known. You could have saved me a right bird's
I know.
nest.
I have. If I pull the wrong one, you end up. It all gets knotted in there, and you end up having to rewire, roll it, and everything. So all we do is take a strip about 45, 50 centimetres long.
Okay.
And then I always tell people when they ask me, is tapestry difficult? I tell them the most difficult part is learning how to thread your needle, because it's not like threading a cotton needle. What you want to do is you take a small fold over, so it's just peeking out between your fingers.
Yep.
Then take it out and just wiggle the eye and pull it through.
And that's the hardest bit?
That's the hardest
You did
part.
it in like 2 seconds?
Well, I've had experience with it, but
show us again, Elliot.
takes a little bit of practice. But
hang on, I've got a needle threader in here.
I have. I'll do that. That's the alternative. If you can't get around to this,
so
then
fold over and push through.
and push through.
Done.
So the other option is
So you do get a needle threader.
you get your needle threader
kit.
included.
Do you know I've had these in
Yes.
sewing kits all my life and never really known what they were or how to use them. They've just been one of those things that've just been in there. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that does.
So all we do with this, is you thread the diamond through the eye of the needle.
There's a really thin piece of wire. Let me just show you that. There's a really thin piece of wire there. Can you see? Can you barely see it there? It's that thin. And that goes through the eye of the needle there. Okay.
Okay, and then if you want to have a go,
Okay.
you just thread the wool through about 1 inch, and then just gently pull it through the eye of the needle.
Oh, that makes it easier. That's so much easier.
It is, but I always prefer to do it with my hand rather
Yeah,
than
but is
needle
that just
threader.
because you've always done it that way?
It's that, and also, you know, the threaders have a certain lifespan, you know, because
Right.
they are such fine wires. And if you're in the middle of a tapestry and, you know, your threader breaks, then and you can't actually thread it yourself.
So don't get reliant on it, but if you're just having one of those days, go for the needle threader.
Yes.
We've had an email from Sue, and she says, this is the kit I received from Stitch Me. Perfect. Perfect help and support from Sara and Eliot. Thank you. Oh, how
lovely.
lovely. Beautiful. You see, that's a great shot, isn't it?
It's a
Absolutely
lovely
great
photo.
shot. Yeah, really lovely. Thank you for sharing, Sue. Sue, have you finished it yet? Or was it a gift? Because your very first show was just before Christmas, wasn't it? So
Yes.
there was enough time to get it in if you were gifting those.
It was, yes.
But have you made it? Or was it a gift to give to someone to make? Ooh, that's the thing. Okay.
Right. Okay, so getting started, what we're going to do, this is called casting on, and you don't have to do this for every thread. This is just the initial one.
But how do I know where to start?
Right, so we've chosen that we're going to do the block colour.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can start anywhere in there.
So I don't have to start at the bottom of it
No,
and work up?
no,
Or... Okay.
there's no particular right or wrong way to do it. Then what we do on the first thread is, you can see I'm just holding it along where I'm going to stitch. And what that is I'm going to stitch over that thread at the back.
In a diagonal?
Diagonal stitch, and when you're going left to right, you're stitching bottom to top.
Right.
So it's a top, you're going from the bottom of the diagonal. So if you can see it here. So in at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then diagonally 1 square across. And what we've done here is we've actually anchored
the end.
We've anchored the end there, so we don't have to do any knots.
So nothing. That look. You see, that's that little end tail there, and that's now underneath those. So when you turn it over like that, can I do a stitch?
Oh, of course, of course.
Right. So I can already see. I go up there, up there, and I'm just going to follow the line that you've then shown. What sort of tension should I have on this?
Right, what you want to do is you don't want to be able to see the canvas through it. So
Right.
what I tell people is you want to pull it just till it catches. So
There.
yeah, so there's no real tension in it. You just want to naturally to pull it till it's finished stitch. You know, without.
now, hang on a minute, Elliot, because there's a bit of blue there. Am I okay to go in on that?
Yes, what you do is, that's probably not the best example, but basically whatever crosses on the cross lines, whatever colour, that's the colour that you stitch.
We're going to come right in on this because this is where you're going to get the detail on your stitch kit. So you see here, the cross here is actually blue, not green. So I will go in on there, but then that stitch that will cover that cross there will have to be whatever that blue is.
Yeah, so you just move on to the next. I don't know if we've got any more stitches in that row. Yeah, so there's a couple more stitches after the blue.
Off I go. There I go. It's very relaxing, isn't it?
Well, I took it up because I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder several
Right.
years ago.
Okay.
And it was my mother who said, who's a
Mothers
prolific...
always know best, Elliot. I'd just
They
like to
do,
get that out
they
there.
do. She's a genius, and she said, "Oh, you need something just to occupy your mind, you know, while you're watching TV." She said, "I've got a couple of old tapestry kits that I never finished," and I loved doing tapestry, but I hated the old-fashioned patterns. So that's how this came about.
Fabulous. So you wanted to stitch something that meant something to
Exactly.
you rather than somebody else's various designs.
Yes, and also a lot of the kits are quite old-fashioned now.
Yes.
So what we've tried to do, or what we do is we make it much more contemporary.
Well, this is it, isn't there? There has to be a way to get the next generation interested.
Yes.
So this kit is brand new today. This size is brand new today. It's not even on your website,
Not
is it
even,
yet?
we're
No.
launching it today. It's not even on our website yet.
Hey, there we go. Well, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So $44.99. We're the first ones to get it. You can be the first ones to get it today. QKMO28. I keep trying to say that that's a 0. It's not. It's an O. $44.99, but you do have to start checking out your baskets. Now, the Bearpaw is the most popular this morning.
Yes.
There it is.
Love it, love it, love it.
Do you know what I think? We say bear paw, but that could be cat paw,
dog paw.
anything with a paw,
Yes.
quite frankly. And right now, I'm recognising that muddiness that could be associated
Yes,
with
your
that.
dog.
Yeah. I have 3 dogs. 2 of them always end up really muddy.
Right.
And my Ridgeback, he's got little fluffy bits between his paws,
Oh,
and they're
yes.
always immaculate. I don't know how he does it, but it's always immaculate. Jack is always immaculate. Right. So we've done a
We've
line
done
of that.
So then we've got to the end of our green on that row.
Yeah.
And so we're starting on the next row down. I'm going. And
Oh, so I don't have to cut anything or do anything?
No, you just work with it. So now, if you see here, we were going bottom to top before, top
Yeah.
to bottom. Now we're going from the bottom to the top.
Now, hang on, I've got a little white
Yeah.
line there. What do I do?
So what we do is we just skip that stitch.
Okay.
As I say,
Just ignore
it's
that
really absolutely no experience necessary. It's so easy to follow.
Okay.
And then we just carry on going, oh, a little bit not there. If you get it knotted, you just pull it. Sometimes it catches. And then you just carry on going backwards and forwards.
Okay.
And what I'll do, if I move on to this one in a second,
Yeah.
just because this is quite a long thread, it'll take me a while to stitch.
Elliot, when I go back through,
Yes.
am I going back in the hole that the other one went
Yeah, when
in.
you're going in that direction. So it sounds complicated, but there's a very simple diagram that tells you when you're stitching in this direction, the diagonals are going from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
And when you're stitching in the opposite direction, they're going from top to bottom.
So this is your square hole that you're stitching into.
Yeah.
So you will have 2 stitches in one hole.
Yes.
Effectively.
Yes.
I get it.
Okay.
Right.
Now, if you're not doing it correctly,
Yeah.
or it's not wrong, but you won't have enough wool. So on the
wrong, but
front,
it's not right.
Sorry.
It's not wrong, but it's not right.
It's not wrong, but yes, exactly. So the stitches, if you do it the opposite way round, going bottom to top,
Perpendicular,
no, just going bottom to top, where you should be going top to bottom. On the front, they'll look exactly the same, but on the back.
Hang on. Let's just show that. So on the front, you'd never know. But on the back,
You'll see this is a lot more chunky. So
Right.
this is called a full tent stitch, and this is what we want, which is called a half tent stitch.
oh, okay, right.
So this uses much more wool, and it's kind of used to be used for rugs and kind of maybe pillows or seat pads, because it is.
We're not making rugs
no,
today.
we're not doing that.
No.
So we want to do it this way, and the reason for that is, as I said, this uses up so much wool, and you might run out of wool if you're doing that. So just check on the back periodically. You don't have to unpick it if you've done a small section. Just correct yourself on it.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay. So we've been stitching backwards and forwards. I'm moving on to this one now. And
Right, Ellie Mark 2.
yes, this is one that I've started. So I did the green area, and then I started doing the odd stitches out so that I've only got the block colours to fill in later on.
Right, yes.
And then I'm just doing a fill in here. And what I want to show you is casting off.
Okay.
So when you get to about a couple of inches on your wool there, what you want to do is turn it on the back and just wiggle it through 3 or 4 stitches.
So that's just going to anchor your anchor thread.
That anchors it, and then you just pull out and you just snip off
Perfect.
the end there.
Nice.
Okay, and then what I'll do is, let me take this thread here. So, when I showed you the casting on there and we had to hold the thread, it's a bit fiddly. You don't have to do it all the time. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my colour here, which is the green.
Yeah.
And I want to start here. Okay, so what I do is I put my needle in where I want to start.
Yeah.
Turn it over and do the same thing that we did casting off, but now it's called casting on.
Okay.
So just through a few threads, through stitches at the back.
Just pull through a few of those. So you can see, hang on, let's just hold that there. You can see there, that's the end of your stitch there. That's, oh, there it is. Bit of fluffy end there. Eliot's pushed it through a few threads just to hold it in place.
Yep.
And then he's just going to pull it up through.
So I saw where I wanted to start stitching, and then all we do is we just carry on. And that's
seamless.
Literally, that's all there is to it. It's so simple and so relaxing. I'm totally addicted to it. Absolutely addicted.
Really? So this is every evening?
Every evening, every minute I can get on the train, on the bus, when I'm travelling. Even when, I'm visiting friends, I take stuff around to do, and I just absolutely adore it.
Oh, brilliant. So how long, is this one of those questions, how long is a piece of string?
Right.
How long is one of these likely to take?
So,
you're quite a speedy stitcher.
I'm quite a speedy stitcher. So something like this, the 6x8, and I'll just say that 6x8 is not the actual canvas, not the outer size. 6x8 is your actual finished canvas.
Right, is your
finished tapestry.
Actual finished. So if I bring finished Ellie over here, then my 6x8 is this measurement, this inner measurement here. That is my 6x8. Isn't she gorgeous?
She is so lovely.
Oh.
So lovely.
Oh, is she super loving?
She is so loving. Sometimes it's painful.
Oh, she's got one of those faces that just sort of looks so grateful. My Jack's like that. He's a rescue, and it was his eyes. It was his big, sad brown eyes, and it's just like, right, we can't leave you behind.
Exactly. It's terrible. I'd have more if I could. But anyway, so we're going carrying on, and basically, that's all there is to tapestry.
That's it.
That's it. And because the colours are so distinct, absolutely anyone can do it.
But it's one of those things. I mean, you said when picking the photo, make sure the background isn't too busy. And as you can see there's just a little bit of brick wall.
Yeah, but it's kind of quite, the colours doesn't actually take up too many colours.
No.
Because it's brickwork. Whereas if you had something like a TV,
could be a Eiffel Tower behind you.
Yeah, you might have a few problems.
Okay. So the quieter the background. But again, don't worry if you've got a beautiful photo that you absolutely love and it has got a fussy background, Eliot can help sort that out. So don't not send it.
No, send it.
There's always a way.
If we can't do something, we'll try our best. If we can't do it, we'll let you know. And basically, you can either send us additional photos or we can do you a refund if you decide that you don't want to go ahead with it. But
you've never been defeated yet,
we have never had to give out a refund as yet in a year and a half.
There's always a way. There's always a way. Just love these, and this is the thing. It's, for me, it's a thought of something a little bit different, something for a loved one.
It's personal.
Yeah, and often, when we're stitching or we're making quilts or whatever it is that we're making for a loved one, it's a matter of, okay, so this is something that I love to do and I want to share that love with a loved one.
Yes.
But actually, it might not be, like you say, the old-fashioned designs.
Yeah.
Like my husband, if I did one of those to my husband, he'd be like, "What? You've lost your mind." But our dear Baxter, who we lost last year, if I stitched, Baxter for him, he'd love that.
It's a memory, and it's personalised, and it's unique. Yeah. So no one else is going to have your dog, or is going to be doing your dog. They're going to be doing their own dogs.
Brilliant. Thank you, Eliot. I'm going to go and show everybody the choices that we've got. We've got a lot of choices for you this morning, and then I'll be back.
Lovely.
Right there. Bye. Bye. Da, 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 da. Oh, hang on, I forgot the kit. That's going to help, isn't it? Okay, now the kits that we're showing at the moment show you the two different sizes. So brand new today is Eliot's dog size, which is 6 by 8. You don't get Eliot's dog, you get whatever picture you choose. She's already taken. And then the other size that we saw on the screen there is your 10 by 8. So we've got two different sizes for you. Now the 10 by 8 or the 8 by 6, that is your finished size. Okay, it's not plus a border or anything like that. It's the actual photo size. So it's a good size, real good size. So these are your two options. Let's take a look at which one you're going to be going for. So we've got the Stitch Me Personalised 8 by 10. That's the largest size for you there for $54.99. And remember, this is a one-off. That's what we're creating here, is your memories, something for you. Could be your camper van, could be your husband's motorbike that, you'd rather see in stitch form rather than in bit form on the kitchen table. We've all had that. And then we've also got the smaller size as well, which is the 6 by 8, and that's the dog. Well, I mean, it will be whatever you send in, but this is the size, is Eliot's Ellie. Here she is. Look at her. $44.99. QKMO28. Oh, not a 0. Now, we've also got for you, excuse me, smaller options for you here. Some come with lavender, some don't. Now, let's go with the lavender options first. If you fancy using these, maybe you're going to put these in a wardrobe or just have them out in the, hanging. My son has a wardrobe and it's got a key. And actually, I could hang that through the key and that would be lovely. It would just make everything smell nice in his room. So well, Eliot designed that for us. That was our first birthday one. So there you go. That's what you're getting in the kit. Now, here we go. So when you get the kit, this is the finished size that it makes here. And everything that you need, even down to the string so that you can hang it, is in there. You've got your lavender in there, you've got your stuffing in there, you've got your needle, you've got your threader. Everything in there. Please do check out those baskets. It's just one P&P. Some of you multi-buying, maybe you've got grandkids that you want to sit down and teach, you know, because this is a great way to learn. I always used to have a little stitch on my grandmother's tapestry and then she'd have to unstitch it. But yeah. So right, let's go with the heart next. Here's your heart one. And that's $9.99 for the heart mini lavender cushion tapestry. Fab. I mean, you could use these as your pin cushions, couldn't you? They're just the perfect size. Now, the next one is your, well, I'd say shamrock. They say 4-leaf clover. I'm just getting all, you know, ready for St. Patrick's Day. A bit early, I know, but, you know, give yourself time. So $9.99. So maybe the hearts you're getting sorted for Valentine's. Maybe this for St. Patrick's Day. Or maybe if you've got someone that's got exams or something coming up, then you want a 4-leaf clover for good luck. Hey. Now, the star one is over here for you. This is Producer Paul's favourite one. And again, a lovely little gift, either as a kit for someone to make up or for you to make up and then gift. You could always put someone's initials in there as well. So $9.99 for your mini star, your shooting star there. Now, they're your lavender options. The non-lavender, here's your paw. Everybody loves the paw. Cat lovers, dog lovers, any kind of paw lovers, bear lovers. Who doesn't love a bear? Well, it depends how close. But $9.99 for your brown paw print, you've got to check out. Let's not miss out on these. Full instructions, stuffing, everything that you need in there. You are good to go. Now, the next one that I've got for you, again, maybe this is another take, a bit of a fun modern take on something for Valentine's Day. So that is your love heart emoji. So $9.99 for that one. $9.99? What happened to my voice there? $9.99. It's the pirate in me. And then you've got, here you go. This is your angel. Maybe you're making it for your little angel. Maybe this, yeah. Maybe it's a christening gift or something. I don't know. $9.99 GUMO 17. There you go. Now, that's what we've got for you this hour. Did you miss first thing this morning? First thing this morning, we had Jo Carter's Ballerina. 2 different options for you with Jo Carter's Ballerina. We had the brunette, the Mini Jo. She likes to call it the accidental Mini Jo because she didn't realise that she'd actually designed something that was her mini-me, her little doppelganger. So there we go. That's Jo Carter's leading lady ballerina. And 12 of you. The only reason I mention it now is because 12 of you have got this in your basket and I don't want you missing out, because if you don't check out, I don't want you missing out. We don't have huge stocks of this one this morning, so please check out your baskets for that. $26.99 FGGC 22. Now the other option was the blonde. Is there any coincidence that it was me and Jo on the show this morning? I don't know. So if you would like the blonde, then here it is. Details coming up on the screen for you. $26.99. Again, loads of you in the baskets with this. Multi-buyers as well. Now, 2 made from each kit. So you see, I could make one for myself, and my little blonde niece, she could have one as well. I'd share. Oh yeah, you know, that kind of person. $26.99. LWGC 44 there. And again, that will make 2 ballerinas, 2 blondies. Fabulous. Right, I'm going to take Ellie. We're back over to you. Now, I keep saying, actually, it's really nice to see this because I keep saying, you could use it as a pin cushion. And that's exactly what you've done here with the paw.
Because I'm not very organised, I end up losing my normal pin cushion. So this just sits over the door handle and I always know where my pins are.
Ah, there it is. We love the paw. You love the paw. Most popular thing this morning is the paw. Yeah, and yeah, perfect for putting all your pins in.
Yep.
Right, so form and function, that's what we like. Now, you did for us a first birthday cake.
We did.
Cupcake with a candle in.
This was our birthday present to you.
Oh, thank you.
This is our birthday cake, first anniversary.
New. And you won't find this on your website or anything either?
No, again, all the lavender bags are launching on the show today. They're not, as I said before, not even available on our website.
Hey, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So you get a chance to get in there first with us today. $9.99 here for your birthday cake kit. So a lovely little gift.
lovely gifts. You know, they're just gifts because,
Yeah.
you know, they're just so much fun either for you to do yourself, do with the kids. The only thing we do recommend is, although the needles are blunt, that children should be supervised when they're
Yes.
doing it. But if you had a couple of kits, you could be doing one and your daughter or your son could be doing one, and you could sit and do them together. You can spell out names with the letters. You know, you can have any letter of the alphabet we'll do for you. So you can spell out mum or, you know, someone's name, and they're just wonderful gifts. I have one in my car as an air freshener.
Oh, nice. That's a really good
You know,
idea.
and
Yeah.
I mean, if you smell them, you know, the smell is beautiful.
Oh, it's filled the studio. The
Yeah,
smell,
it's
you know, you walk in
beautiful.
and you're like, oh, where's that lavender smell coming from? And it's just those few on the trees there. So this is the kit. This is how it
This
arrives.
is the kit. So, a gift to make you smile for anyone. And then what I'll do is, let's just open this one up, show you what you get inside. So, I bring
So
everything in.
achievable and rewarding, I think, is what this makes me think.
You get your lavender. You get your wadding if you want to use it as a pin cushion. So you've got either or. You don't use them together because the lavender works by being rubbed against itself rather
Yeah.
than being in the wadding.
Okay.
You get your printed canvas.
Right.
You get your needle.
Yep.
You get your threader. You get your acrylic walls for this one.
Right.
Now these are 100% wool.
Right.
They're anchor walls, very good make. These are acrylic walls for the small cushions, so that you can wash them. Not if you've got the lavender in, but if they, you know, if they needed cleaning, you can wash them.
Okay,
So
all
you get
right.
all your walls, then you get your suede effect backing fabric,
Nice. Oh,
and
so everything.
you get your ribbon,
everything. is
and
in
you
there.
get your instructions.
Brilliant. Okay.
Okay, so what we can do is, again, this is exactly the same as we did before.
Now, does this have? Is this colour for colour?
This one
on
is
this
colour
one?
for colour.
Okay, because they are very
Just because
bright, obvious
it's
colours.
very easy to distinguish. You know,
Okay.
we always, you know, we try and work with distinctive colours in whatever projects we do. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do our casting on. So, same as I did on the 8x6 tapestry. Right, we're doing a diagonal stitch, and we're just going over the thread at the back.
And you're going, again, it's making sure that whatever colour is in that cross, you are
Exactly.
covering with that colour thread. Does it matter if I get it up?
It's very forgiving. So it really, I mean, the only thing we suggest and we work on is if you're doing a face, is to kind of spend a bit of time around the eye or, you know, around the mouth, you know.
Oh, getting that.
Just to get the detail. Otherwise, it's very forgiving.
Would you do, with something like that, would you maybe do the eye first?
Well, what I've done here with, I know we're talking about this, but
Whilst we mention it.
so I've started to do around the eye, and then I would actually do those odd stitches.
So you don't,
Yeah.
because that's where that detail is coming in,
that's where you get
isn't
the
it?
detail.
Okay, all
You
right.
know, whereas here, you know, if you stitch the yellow over the pink, a couple of stitches.
On a
it's-
brick, it doesn't matter,
Doesn't
but
really
the
matter.
eye is
Doesn't
important.
matter. And also with most of the fur, because it's, you know, quite dark colours, again, if you do a couple of stitches in the wrong place, it really is totally forgiving.
No one's going to sit there with the original photo going, hang on a minute.
But even if they did, they probably wouldn't notice. It would probably, you know, it's something that I would notice because I'm a bit OCD. And I'd notice if I'd missed a stitch. But all we're doing here is we're just filling in our yellow here.
Okay. So going back on yourself the other way.
Yep. And again, you don't want to pull it tight. You don't want to see the canvas through it. So
Right.
you're just pulling it.
Well, that kind of means, you know, that it is relaxing because you can't work that tension with the wool. You know,
Yeah.
it's got to be relaxed. It's got to be left relaxed, which kind of helps, doesn't it? You know?
Yes, it is. It is, because you don't have to worry about, you know, it's not like cross stitch where, you know, it has to be so precise and stuff like that. This with the tension, as long as you just let it just catch. So that's all the tension you need.
Because it might be that you've fancied having a go at tapestries for years and years. Now, I haven't done any tapestries in about 30 years. And, God, it's a bit terrifying. And And so maybe the thought of doing one of the big full kits as a starter
Yeah.
might be something you go, actually, I'd like to have a go at something smaller. So I might get the paw and have a go at the paw, get my eye back in first
Definitely.
before I start
yeah.
on my dog.
You really
Or my
don't
son.
need any experience for either of these, but if you don't have the confidence for that, this is a great introductory.
Sometimes it's not about how easy it is, it's about how easy we think
Exactly,
it might be.
exactly.
And if doing one of the smaller ones first means that you know, you're going to feel more confident, then grab one of these, and then maybe do that one first. So now the first time that tapestry was mentioned in English was 1467. So that's
You're good.
It's quite an ancient art,
Yes,
really, isn't it?
it
You know,
is.
and things that are popular stand the test of time. It's a
And you know what? With people leading very stressful lives these days, you know, you want something that will help you relax. You know, and these are
Absolutely.
wonderful. You can do them, you know, on the underground. You can do them on trains, on buses. You can, you know, it's just small enough to fit into your bag, and you can just do it. You know, they take about 5 or 6 hours to complete. So, if you wanted to, you could do it in an afternoon.
Yes.
You know. But, you know, otherwise, if you want it just for relaxation, you can take it out with you. And I don't like public transport just because of the noise and the crowds. And so I always take a tapestry with me, and I zone out
Yes.
of everything else. So,
yes. Well, that's just it, because you said to me this morning, you know, I feel a bit nervous, as brand new guests always do. And I said to you, you know, the minute you start stitching and doing what you do, it happens to all of our guests. The minute they start doing what they do, the nerves go.
yeah, the
Because
shakes
it
go,
is what
the
you
shakes
love.
go, the
Yeah,
nerves go.
yeah, absolutely.
It's, you know, I love the products so much. You know, I can talk about them all day long.
Because you teach this now as well,
I
don't you?
I do teach. I teach some private classes, and then I also work with people with mental health problems.
And do they find this nice and
Many do.
relaxing?
Some people, you know, they come in and they've got the shakes, you know, and or they've, you know, like me, have anxiety disorder or depression. And what we do is we sit around, you know, 10 or 12 of us, and we meet once a week for an afternoon or a morning, and we stitch these squares. And then what we do normally with them is then I patchwork them into a cushion.
Oh, lovely.
And we either donate it to someone or we raffle it to raise funds for the project.
Oh, so not only has it helped people, but it's rewarding, and then it's just helping always round. What a lovely thing to do. You've got 5 minutes. I'll just give you your 5-minute warning there. But I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? We all come to stitching and patchworking and quilting, and so we all come at it for different reasons. And, you know, for my grandmother, it was, she'd been a seamstress, she'd always sewn, but this was what she liked to do. Because being a seamstress was her job, this is what she did for relaxation. She always had to have something on the go. In fact, her and my granny, she also used to stitch as well. You know, all sorts of tapestry. She had a big fire guard that she'd done as a tapestry.
Oh, that must have taken quite a while to do.
Absolutely. Now, what stage are we at here?
So we're just doing that. If we're running short on time, just to reiterate, you don't need your photo today.
Okay.
With these ones.
Well, let's have another recap again. So if you missed the start of the show, this is brand new today, this size. We've got an 8x6. Now that will be, let me bring the finished, whoops, sorry
right,
Ellie,
don't
let
worry.
me bring the finished Ellie in here. So the finished Ellie, now again, this is your photo. This happens to be Eliot's dog Ellie, but the finished size is 8x6. Okay, that's the size. Now it can be landscape, or it could be portrait, depending on which way you want. That can be done. Eliot will sort that. So, at your leisure, and this I must stress, at your leisure, you pick the photo that you want. Now, it doesn't have to be the 8x6 proportions. It doesn't have to be that at all. Eliot can do all of that for you. He can crop it and make it exactly how it needs to be. If you are confident to email Eliot, and all of the details will come in your sort of starter kit, then you would email Eliot your photo. If you don't have that sort of technology, you know, my mum's not great at sending
Yeah,
photos.
no, we
I'll be
totally
honest.
understand that.
Well, I have to talk her through it every time.
Yes.
And that's fine. Happy to do that. But if not, if you actually have the physical photo, then you can send that to Eliot. You will get it back.
You will get it back with your kit.
Yes, you will get it back. Now, how the kit comes, for example, this is Ellie and her kits. The colours will differ for whatever ones you're doing, but you'll get 15 different colours, which is what's giving this photorealism effect here. You'll get your needle, you'll get your needle threader, you'll get the tapestry, and then you'll get full instructions and the key as well. Because as you can see from, let's grab Ellie again. Here she is.
Yep.
As you can see, these colours here. Have I got around the right way? Oh, hang on.
Doesn't
Oh no,
matter.
this is
Oh, no,
a couple of
that's
people.
not Ellie. That's
not Ellie. But
Here's
I mean,
Ellie.
you can see. You know, this is the larger size. But let me just show you with this. You can see that isn't. I mean, they're not Martians.
No, but a lot of
They're
people,
not.
you don't, you know, I wouldn't recognise that as a dog, you know, if I saw
Yeah.
that in those colours. Your brain can't put it together because it's the bright
Yes.
colours. So what we do is you just refer it to the image you get on the front, and that's how your kit will turn out. It won't turn out in these actual colours.
Okay, so what you will get is wherever you see that colour. I mean, you don't have that bright blue in a dog. You know, wherever you see that colour, you substitute it for that wool number, your anchor wool number there. Okay, so this is a key. This is your key colour key.
Colour key.
And then actually when you get your tapestry, what you'll see is that up the top you've got all of those colours. And as Eliot's just done, he's just put a little strand. So actually the pink is sort of a light grey colour there. And that blue is actually a darker one there. So you've got all of those colours actually mean something else, but you've got that as a reference to make sure that you're stitching the correct colour. You've got that as your reference. That also has full instructions as well. It's all in there. And it also, if you need a larger, this is what I really like, if you need a larger guide as to what you're looking at, or if you just, if you know,
like stitch counting,
Yeah.
some people prefer stitch counting. We've designed the kits so that you can sit and do it while you're watching the TV. You know, because stitch counting you have to mark off every time you do a stitch, and then if you make a little mistake, you've got to try and backtrack where you've crossed off on there. So we've designed the kits that, you know, absolutely no experience. You can do it while you're watching the TV, while you're on the bus, you know, anywhere you are, you can take it
Beautiful.
with you.
Elliot, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your
Pleasure.
story. Thank you for sharing your dog with us. Beautiful, Ellie. And thank you for sharing your new company with us. Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Great kits. So I will leave you. Thank you. And I'm going to go and have a look
Okay.
at these kits. Wonderful. Now, let's see. So let's go through, we'll go through big kits, then we'll go through the little kits. So remember, as we just saw, there are two different sizes. So you've either got 8 by 10 or 6 by 8. They are the two different sizes that you can get, and that's a finished size. So the larger one, like the camper van one, is an 8 by 10. And then Eliot's dog Ellie, that is your 6 by 8. So if you want the larger ones, that's $54.99. And this is whatever photo. And even if you've got a colour photo, maybe you fancy it in an elegant black and white, Eliot can do that too. So that's $54.99. Now, if you want the dog size, the Ellie size, which is the 6 by 8, then that is $44.99, and that's the kit. All the wool, everything, all of Eliot's hard work in getting this exactly, working with you to make sure that you are absolutely happy with what your final product is going to look like, because each one is different, then that's $44.99. QKMO28. Now, have we got a new leader? The Hearts? Are you romantic lot? Are you thinking about Valentine? Are you? You've got time to get it and get it stitched. So please do check out your baskets for these. $9.99. I love that. I love all the colours in that. It's bright, it's colourful, it's cheerful. Wonderful. So that's $9.99. Maybe this is the first time you've ever given tapestry a go. What a great way to learn. Maybe this is going to be for the grandkids over Easter or half term when they're driving you mad. Okay, maybe you've got someone having an exam coming. I don't know why I'm thinking about exams. Got a few coming up myself. Then here we go. This is your 4-leaf clover. Or it could be for St. Patrick's Day. So that's $9.99 for your 4-leaf clover. Now, maybe, let's start over here. Maybe you want the birthday cake. So great for any kind of celebration. This comes with lavender in this one. So you can have, I think it's a great idea to have it as a car smelly thing. What's the word I want? car freshener, air freshener in your car. And of course, lavender, if you are putting it in your wardrobes, moths hate lavender. So it'll keep those moths away. A little bit of fun in there for you. So then we've got the star, the shooting star. Brilliant. Maybe you're using it as a pin cushion, who knows? But you've got the choice in there. You've got your lavender, and you've also got in there your normal stuffing if you want to do that. So that's $9.99. But you do have to start checking out because otherwise you're going to miss out. Now we've got our paw. This has been very popular as well today. So if you're after your paw, then again, $9.99. There we go. SAMO 93. There we go. And then if you want, here you go, again, another idea for Valentine's. If you've got, my mum has always sent me something for Valentine's, bless her. So if you do send your kids, or maybe you want to give them something that's a bit more trendy, then there you go, $9.99 for that one. And then your little angel over here, that's your little angel again, $9.99. Each of these mini kits, $9.99. So thank you, Eliot. Now, after the break, it's all about that unicorn. Yes, Jo Carter is back with our fabulous unicorn, and this time with a golden mane. See you in a moment.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more. Join us on Wednesday the 7th of February when we're thrilled to welcome Tula Pink into the Sewing Quarter family with her debut show. Tula Pink's fabric designs are inspired by her love of animals and nature, and she enjoys hiding animal characters in unusual places in her illustrations. Her bold use of colour and patterns makes her fabrics a joy to quilt and sew with. Tula also has her own range of tools to add a special touch to your workroom. Her biggest fans include our own designers Lucy Brennan and Jo Carter. Like many people around the world, they're inspired by her gorgeous fabrics, so we can't wait to reveal these exciting prints and accessories. So join Tula for her Sewing Quarter debut on Wednesday the 7th of February. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue also comes with a free gift.
Sewing Quarter is the UK's first TV channel dedicated to sewing and quilting. On air and behind the scenes, our team of top industry experts work hard to bring you tons of exciting projects. Whether you're into dressmaking, bag making, piecing, patchworking or quilting, you'll learn something new every day from our talented guest designers and fabulous presenters. Our online shop is packed with tools, haberdashery essentials and fabulous fabrics, from simple solids to designer gems. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee and single daily postage charge, you can shop with confidence. So tune in daily on Freeview 78, Sky Channel 678 and shop online at sewingquarter.com.
As soon as you place an order with us, we get to work on making your shopping experience that extra bit special. Our warehouse team pick your items and cut your fabric with the greatest care and precision. Cut fabric is neatly folded and packed in a tissue paper-lined presentation box. And when we're satisfied that it's just perfect, it gets the Sewing Quarter seal of approval. So whether you're giving a gift or treating yourself, you can shop with confidence, knowing your Sewing Quarter purchases will arrive in style.
Jo Carter's series of amazing animal softies continues this Friday with her lion toy making its Sewing Quarter debut. From issue 21 of Simply Sewing magazine, this King of the Jungle is all set for plenty of games and cuddles. With an embroidered smile and a super cute mane, you'll love sewing this toy for someone special. Our new kit includes Jo's expert instructions, so tune in for this unmissable new show at 8 AM on Friday the 26th of January only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Hello, welcome back now. I promised you some unicorns. Yeah, look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I've got several ideas for you today. And I'm going to start with this one over here, which is your fleecy one. So we've got a cotton one, we've got a fleecy one. So we're going to start here with the pink mane here. And this is the kit that we've got for you for this today. I know. So here we go. We've got 2 embroidery skeins always. So you've got your pink there, and you've got your black there, and then here you've got your pink. Now this felt here is for the mane and the tail. Yeah. And then what I love about this is this beautiful soft fleece that we've got for you there. So $24.99 for that. And guess what, of course, you get full instructions. Whoa, these are instructions and a half. Gosh, very, very full instructions here for you. Very full instructions. So everything that you need there to go through. So step by step. I mean, this is just an idea of and all of your template pieces in there for you. So there we go. Okay, now, already you're putting them in your baskets. We absolutely love. Now, the next version is brand new today, and this is the golden one. So you've got your golden skein. Oh, exciting. So you get your beautiful golden skein. You get your black for your eyes and your mouth, and you get your lovely golden mane there. And then you get your thread and, of course, your body fabric there. That's cotton. So if you're after the fleece, go for the one we've just discussed. This one is your cotton. It's $24.99. Full instructions as ever. Now, no unicorns were harmed in the making of this kit, but it is gold and glittery, and that works for me. Now, the next one that we've got for you is this little chap. Well, a variation on this little chap here. We love him. The blue polka dotty one with the crazy pink mane here. Now, with this one, you're getting a silver skein. Now, I keep saying, the silver skeins do the nose, and if you want to, like you can see on this one, you can see that the mane is embroidered too. Now, this is if you want to. You can just stitch that normally from your sewing machine if you look at that and go, gosh, that's a bit like hard work. Or you could use your silver skein and have the odd silver highlight. That's how I like to think of my grey hair, as the odd silver highlights. So 1/2 metre, and off you go there. And of course, all of your stuffing and instructions. Hey, Joe. We love this one. Hello. Now, you've chosen our golden unicorn today.
Yes.
Brand new today.
It is.
Hooray! Love the golden unicorn. And now, just before I put this in front of here, you might notice that we've got these. This isn't just, a bit of home decor and we'll stick a candle in there, it'll be lovely. We've got these on for a reason. These are actually our pellets. We've got 2 different sizes of pellet. We've got heavyweight ones and we've got lighter weight ones. So the grey ones here, let's start with these. So we thought, and we've said this on numerous, it's quite therapeutic actually doing that, for $6.99 you can get your heavy grey pellets, because we keep saying this about the unicorn. He'd be lovely as a door stopper.
He would. Make a bag with beans in and pop that in its bottom. And it would sit really nicely by the door.
Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. So you've got your heavy ones, which are the grey, and then you've got your lighter ones here. They're different shapes as well, but it's whatever sort of sizing you want to go for. But that would also do the job. So $6.99 for your poly pellets. And again, something like this, even if you decide not to have the unicorn as a door stopper, never throw them away. Just unstitch his bottom.
Yes.
Again, more things that I don't expect to really say on air. And just take them out. You can pop them through the wash.
Yeah.
Just pop them in some Milton or something if you want to clean them. Pop them in your next project. So you've got those. You can reuse them as many times as you like. Brilliant. Right.
Okay. Should I start? I'm going to start with the main. There are some little... You showed the one with the hand stitching, and I think the gold thread would look beautiful.
Oh, wouldn't it?
Around there, but it is quite a lot of hand stitching to go around all of these.
I guess it depends how quickly. If you're in a rush, I mean, I'm always in a rush to do things, so I potentially wouldn't, or I might get some metallic thread because I really love the idea and do it on my machine because I'm a cheat. On that, nothing else. But it's entirely up to you, isn't it, how you want to do it. Or if it's just something that you're going to absolutely love spending that time hand stitching with love, then absolutely, hand stitching might be what you absolutely love to do. It's your choice at the end of the day.
Yes, and it's about making the toys your own as well. That you've got the pattern, but you know, experiment, and that's and they're unique.
But we've seen this, haven't we, already this morning with all the brilliant pictures of the ballerinas that got sent in. You know, this morning, and your different takes on them. It's just brilliant. I love it. So
the tail is made up of 3 different pieces like this, and it's easy. I've machine stitched around here. And the mane is made up of 3 of these, but the easiest way to do it is not to make these cuts until after all the sewing.
Do we need your water erasable pen again, Jo?
Yes.
What a surprise. We're 6 minutes into the show and already she's cracked out the water erasable pen. Brilliant.
It never really goes away.
No.
So this is a tail piece. So I've drawn where I'm going to cut it, but I'm not cutting it yet. And I'll stitch around. Now I'll do that very quickly on this one. And this just felt can sometimes, if it's being pulled, it can stretch a little bit. And this gives a little bit of detail. It gives it more of a finish, I think. But also stops it from stretching.
Okay. Because this is going to be, if you've got anyone small in the house, and I don't mean, you know, like they just didn't grow very much, I mean like children, then, you know, this is going to be one that they absolutely love. Producer Paul says already you've got to start checking out, and we're only 7 minutes into the show, so oh my goodness, we know we're, you know, popular times, Jo, popular times, the unicorn is always a winner.
Everybody loves a unicorn, don't they?
They do. There's some, they're really, really popular at the moment, aren't they?
They are.
And I don't know if it's just because of the, wow, just the magic and the mystery of them, the mystique, or if it's also, there's a certain TV show at the moment that has a character that's a unicorn, although they call him the Ubercorn.
Ah.
And my son is heavily into that show. And no, it's not Casualty. Award-winning director Mike chimes in. Is it Casualty, Tash? No, it's not. And no, it's not Super Vet either. Wait, they don't have kids. They don't know. But if you've ever watched Go Jetters, then you'll know about Ubercorn. He's got all the facts.
Has he?
That's
his thing.
The all-knowing unicorn, hence being the Ubercorn. You see. So I think that's a reason why the kids are so into unicorns at the moment.
So I've stitched around, and now, I mean, I did it very quickly for the sake of time, so it's not perfectly neat. But then I'm just going to snip.
Yeah, you're pretty good, Jo. I mean, even
Will you
at
let
speed.
me off?
Yeah. Even at speed, I'll give you that.
There we go. So there, all those bits prepped.
So was it 2 or 3 for the tail? Have you just done a
3 for the tail, I think 3 for the mane. And you can, the tail, to give it a bit of extra fullness, is actually put the 3 together and fold in half. Like that, and this will form the tail.
Nice.
And I'll just baste this so it's done and ready to go in later.
And that will go through the sewing machine okay?
It will. Take it slowly, though.
Okay.
I mean, if you find it a bit too chunky, just make 2.
Okay.
There we go.
Lovely.
So that's ready for later, and I'll baste the main pieces together along the top.
The main event.
The main event.
I think there is a look of Tina Turner about the unicorn.
Do you think?
Yes. I love it. When I was, 13, I rescued a little Shetland pony. He was down for the meat market. I gave the farmer 50 quid, which I'd earned from mucking out other people's horses. And little Rusty came home with me, and he had a mane like this, go off in all directions, a bit like Tina Turner's hair. And this is what it reminds me of. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We love him or her.
There we go. And the fringe bits, these are the fringe bits. Again,
Forelock.
sew them in. Is that what it's
It's a
called? That's a
forelock.
forelock.
Yeah.
These forelock pieces.
Fringy bits, forelock,
Fringy bits. I'm no. Yes, well, I'll just leave it. Forelocks.
Yes.
Trim this bit out once this stitching has been done.
Okay.
There we go. So I'll pop those to one side.
Excellent.
And I'll start with the head.
It's a very great place to start.
I'll do the ear first.
Now, Jo, we've got two different types today, haven't we? We've got our cotton ones, which is the golden one, and the blue and white spotted and with the pink mane. So they're both with a cotton body.
Yes.
And then the other one has a fleece body. Does this make any difference as to how we work with the fabric?
It does. The fleece one, in some ways, is easier to sew with. Once you get used to sewing with fleece and sort of seeing where the edges are, because sometimes, because it's a bit fluffy, you can't always appreciate where the true edge is. But have a bit of a practice. Once you're used to sewing with fleece, I think it's easier because it's got that stretch.
Okay, so
And you
fleece
can-
is actually the most popular this morning, and it is super soft. If you are giving this as a gift to a little one, oh my word, they are going to absolutely love it. It is absolutely soft as anything, really beautiful. And again, this is what you do so well. Little hands can get round these things. There you go. There's the forelock there.
If you're sewing
Style it.
with the
Just
fleece,
floofing.
I forgot the name of the fabric then. Sewing with fleece, definitely a heavier needle, a 16 or a jeans
really?
needle. Yes, not so much. It's when you're sewing the mane in and the ears.
Oh, okay.
It's going through these. It's when there's a few layers.
Okay.
When it's thicker, definitely a bigger needle, and
So
take it slowly.
If this is the first toy I've ever made, do I go fleece or cotton?
Ooh.
What's together now?
I would go fleece, I think.
Would you?
I would.
Controversial. Okay.
Yes, I would.
She's thinking about that.
I think
Standing
this-
by her decision.
The stretch really does help.
I just love it. Absolutely love it. Okay.
So the ear pieces, the front of the ear is wider than the back of the ear. This is because we're going to get a fold into that bit
Okay.
to give the ear a bit of depth. So choose whichever piece. I like to have the back ear, the smaller one on top, but either one works. It's just personal preference.
Now again, as with the ballerina, are we working on a shorter stitch length here?
Yes, with the fleece, don't go for a wider stitch length.
Really?
Yes, because the stitches end up closer together anyway because of the
Okay.
fabric, if that makes sense.
Do you have to, because there's a slight give in the fabric, do you still use a straight stitch or do you use a zigzag?
I use a straight stitch.
Okay. I need to know all these things. I need to know everything, Jo.
That's fine. Anything, ask anything.
I'll keep it unicorn related.
Oh yes, no, don't ask it anything.
So, Jo.
I mean, I don't even know what a horse's fringe is called, so.
That's all right. That's one thing I do know. Horse anatomy, I can help you with that.
So I just paused at the top with the needle down and then repositioned because the curved sides are the same size.
Right. You see, this is where you're brilliant because you have that 3D brain and you do see things in 3D. And I know that you'll always tell me, oh, but I had a good teacher and all that. But actually, no, I just think you're great. So
I'm just going to clip. You can either clip straight across or just take a chunk out of the end there, just so we've taken some of the bulk out so it fits inside.
there you go. So it looks like it's been nibbled a little bit, but that's okay. That's what you want.
It is.
Okay.
I mean, or if you preferred, you could just go straight across.
Yeah, I don't mind.
And then I'll take a couple of little V-shaped notches out of the sides whilst it's curved.
Now, Denise has sent us an image of her unicorn. Let's have a look.
Oh, and the little bear as well.
Oh, and a bear in a bag. Oh, with the
That's
astronaut. Gosh,
brilliant.
that was quite an early on one. Denise, you clever thing. Oh, that's wonderful.
That looks fab.
Is there a mirror in the back? We're getting a back view of the mane there. We
Is
are,
it a
aren't we?
light switch? Is it?
Yeah, something that's reflecting the back of it.
It's
I like
nice.
that. It's like when you're at the hairdressers and they say, do you like the look from the back? Brilliant.
They're brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. This is what we love. This is what this channel is all about. It's about bringing makes to you that are that are achievable for you to do at home. There's no point in getting, Joe making stuff that's just so difficult, nobody can actually emulate it at home. We want you to be able to see this and make exactly this at home if you want. Or if you're confident and you want to wooz it up or do the hand stitching, then do all of that. But your basic make is gonna look just like this.
Yes.
Brilliant.
There we go. So I've got 2 ears now, and the front's wider, so we want to now make it the same width as the back by just popping a little fold in.
Okay. We've had a very quick email from, I want to say, Erlis. She says, hi, tried to order the paw print. Is it sold out? No, it's still there. If you're having problems on the web, then just give us a call. It's free to call, 0800 112 4433, and you can get your paw too. You can get your hands on a paw. Yeah. And it's on the web as well, so you can have a look on the web as well. There's many a way to get it, but if you're having any problems at all, just give us a call, free and UK based to do so, 0800 112 4433. Thank you very much.
There we go. So I've popped the fold in that one and then just basted the fold in place, so that's going to stay there.
Wonderful.
The other ear needs to be folded in the opposite direction so that they're mirror images.
Right.
Not that way, because one ear then would look upside down when it was on.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes.
So I'm going to fold it in the opposite direction and then base that fold in place.
I can't wait to see, because this is actually the golden one, which sounds wonderful in itself. I remember my niece, when she was about 5, standing up and announcing to an entire train full of commuters that she was the golden child.
Nice.
Her sister did not agree, I would just like to say. But yeah, Ruby was convinced she was the golden child. And this is the golden unicorn. This is the golden one. If you'd like to go for the golden one, then you absolutely can. It's $24.99. I can't wait to see what this mane is going to look like. I think it's going to look fabulous.
Right, so
We have ears.
ears are done, so I'll pop those to one side. When I was clipping, I'd clip the tip of the ear if you were making it with a fleece, but you don't need to clip notches in the side. The fleece, because of the stretch, it allows for a lot of
it.
I mean, a lot of the clipping. Now, before I pop this on, I'll clip where it's going to curve around the front of the, is it a muzzle?
Yeah.
Is it a muzzle?
Yeah, no, good job, yeah.
So not quite as deep as the seam allowance, but I'm going to make little clips around there just so it spread, sort of fits around the curve nicely.
All right, fabulous. Now, whilst you do a few little clips, so, oh, hang on, that's a point. How much do you clip?
I do about 3 or 4 millimetres, half the width of, maybe just over half the width of the seam allowance.
So you don't want to be sewing that and then say, oh, whoops,
I
take away.
Yes, you don't want to.
So you clip it before you sew it?
I do, and I will pin it in place. One I might just go for and do for the sake of time. But this is the side face piece.
It's unusual to hear you say that you're going to pin anything.
Yes, I'm not, yes. With the fleece, I'd just go for it because the stretch and the give, I wouldn't do this, it will just fit around. But with the cotton, you've not got much room for error.
I like that we're getting the chance to have a go with different fabrics here, We've got 4 new callers on the line. Good morning. If you are buying this today, then you're going to qualify for a new customer gift, by the way, the 4 of you that are on the line this very second. There you go. So if you would like to get involved this morning, then you can either phone us, 0800 112 4433. It's free to do so, and it's a UK-based call centre, or you can shop online, which is sewingquarter.com. If you add to your basket, then you have to check it out, and that's the only way that it is confirmed. Okay, otherwise, if someone phones up and we've only got limited stock, it'll be plucked from your basket and given to somebody else who's there ready with their money ready to go. And of course, it's only 1 P&P per day. P&P is applied at midnight. Okay, so we'll tot up everything you've checked out throughout the day and apply your P&P at midnight. That's how it works.
Okay, I've jumped ahead a little bit.
That's all right, my housekeeping is over.
I need to put the unicorn's horn in place first.
The unicorn.
The unicorn.
Right.
Now the horn, if it was a circle at the bottom, it would be quite difficult to fit into place. So I've opted to do it with straight lines.
Okay.
So you can sew up to here, pause with the needle down through the fabric, readjust. But it does help to draw it on, water erasable pen, so these lines will disappear. So pausing at each of these sections, and also before you start, clip into those points. That helps it.
Into those edge bits. Let me show you a finished horn. Now, is this the most intricate part of it, the horn?
Yes, probably. Yes, I think it's probably the trickiest bit. Making the face fit around here. I mean, because the seam allowance is exactly the same size on both, but it's making sure it's positioned properly.
I love it. I love it. All right, whilst you do that, I'm going to find this in the instructions because I want to show you, look, this might be something new for you. And you've got all of the templates in the back, but I just want to find in all the photographic instruction-y bits. It's very technical, isn't it? All the instruction-y bits. That bit that Jo has just shown us. There we go.
So I've got to that first point, the opposite side, and I'm just going to twist this round, make sure there's no creases on the piece underneath, and repositioning for the second section. And I can see, because it's the white fabric, I can see through it. I can see where I need to stop. But you could draw on both. Again, pausing, repositioning, making sure the seam allowance isn't folding under so you get a little bit of fabric peeking through the seam. But it does pay to take this bit nice and slowly.
Absolutely, I can feel the concentration.
The smoke. Just making sure that's hopefully fine. Oh, pressed the wrong button. So I have this machine, I'm still not quite mastered.
You've only had it 2 weeks.
Yes.
You know, a machine that you've had for years, you can play with your eyes shut, but you know, when it's a new one. Now, let me just show you in the instructions. So what we've covered so far, we've done ears.
Done ears?
Done ears. There are your ears. Come in on. There we go. There's your ears. And then that is the stitching. You can see down there, along there, across there, and up. That's what we've just stitched. And now we're on to number 3. Full instructions in here. Brilliant.
So I've sewn that around there, and with the fleece, the stretch does help as well to get that bit in. Right, now to add the side faces in, choose which way you find it easiest, whether to have the middle of the head on top as you sew, so it's the straighter edge really going around the curve. I think that's the easiest way of doing it.
Now, of course, with this bit, because you're working with a plain white cotton, there's no right or wrong side.
No,
just make sure you got the right piece.
Yes. So I'm just going to do this freehand just for the sake of speed, but it does help to pin.
Okay.
So if it comes up a little bit short at the end, you'll see that's why it's a good idea to pin.
Now, I know you don't generally like to put pins in toys just in case you accidentally forget one. So we were talking about the glue pens earlier. Is this something that you could glue based around?
I think it might come apart.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be tricky because you do have to be quite rough with it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's good to know the boundaries of things, isn't it? We've got some emails, apparently. Who have we got? Teresa in London. She says, good morning to all at the Sewing Quarter and to all the Sewing Quarter crew. Jo, you are my hero. Your unicorn is the first toy I ever made, even though I've been sewing for a million years. My granddaughter was delighted. Thank you for giving me the confidence to make it, says Teresa in London. Look at that. Absolutely super. Oh, it's got a bow on.
That looks fab.
Oh, brilliant. I bet your granddaughter was utterly thrilled. And another one this morning. Ah, this is from Sandra. She says, hi, just wanted to share my unicorn and elephants from Jo's Kits and Patterns. I love making her stuffed toys. Love, Sandra. Well, thank you for sharing. Wonderful, aren't they? Aren't they great? Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, producer Paul says it looks like it could be a new Pixar film or something. You know, those bright, vivid colours. Brilliant. Wonder what adventures a unicorn and an elephant would have together. All sorts of fun.
I think they'd be quite magical.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There we go.
Has it matched up too?
It has.
Yay!
There we go. So that's one side on, and I'll do the same with the other side.
Now, okay, so now which way?
Now to keep this piece on top, I'm starting from the opposite end, whereas before I started from the top of the head, I'm now going to start from the bottom.
But keeping that flatter piece.
Flatter piece on top. I just find it easier to bring the flat edge around the
Oh,
curve,
okay. So
especially if it's got those clips in as well, so it's easier to fit around the curve.
Oh yes, of course, that's the bit that you clipped, wasn't it? You pre-clipped.
It is. I wouldn't pre-clip with the fleece, but with this, definitely.
Okay.
Let's hope this one fits as well.
She says with confidence. I'm sure it will. I have every confidence in you, Jo. But
Well,
this is something, it's not to be rushed, is it? Just enjoy, take your time, relax, bit at a time, and you're all good.
I think enjoying the process. I mean, everybody at times wants to launch their machine out of the window because things don't go well. But try and enjoy the process.
But try not to. Yeah. It gets a bit expensive that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Neighbours complain.
Makes a mess of the garden.
Yeah. Is that how you and Lucy relax of an evening? It's not the rock and roll TVs out the window. This is the odd sewing machine. Look out below!
That's the danger in the car park.
We're getting a true picture now, aren't we, of what really goes on behind the scenes in those hotels.
There we go. So this is fitting round reasonably well.
Round it comes. Brilliant. Now, check out your basket, says Producer Paul. Don't miss out on this. Which one are you going for? Are you going for the golden unicorn, which is the one that we're working on today? The most popular actually today is the fleece. It depends what look you're going for. Should we go and have a look at that? Joe, I'll be back in a second. Don't worry, we will be back. So if you want a lovely soft fleecy version, and it just depends, you know, this is all personal preference and personal choice. If you want the fleecy version, and you get your stuffing as well. You see my stuffing's down there. There's never room on the bench for my stuffing. So each kit gets your stuffing. You get your full instructions there. Then you also get your pink mane. You get 2 different skeins, so you can do all your embroidery. You get your thread. And then just the softest fabric there. So that is, yeah, it's one of those things. You're going to make it, and then, you know, you might intend to gift it. You might have all the best intentions, but it's going to be so soft and snuggly. That's not going anywhere, let's be honest. Now, the golden one is this one today. So if you like the golden kit, then you've got the golden mane here, and you've got your golden thread as well, which is just fabulous. Yeah, no, I love that golden thread, ever so lovely. You get a lot of it as well. It's something, it is, it's 25 meters. There's a lot on there. And then you also get your black thread for your eyes and your mouth, your muzzle. And then you're also getting your ½ meter of fabric there for the body. Ta-da, right. And then if you want to do the blue spotty unicorn, I love this one. Then you've got your pink felt. You've got your silver thread. I love that silver thread. Oh yes. You've also got your black embroidery skein and your blue thread for your stitching and your instructions. And of course, there you go. All your stuffing as well. Where have we got to, Jo?
We've got both sides on.
Oh, well done.
And to give it a little bit of a cheek, there are 2 darts.
You do like a dart?
I do.
Cheeky dart.
Cheek in either dart. No, that's not right. A dart in either cheek. So I'll just line those up and stitch straight across them. You don't with fleece as well, you don't need to taper darts so much because it's a stretchy fabric, it just naturally rounds out.
Oh, okay. So actually, as someone that's starting out with toys, I don't have too many toys under my belt, then maybe go for the fleece. But if you are proficient in your toy making, it doesn't matter which one you go for. They're all going to be fabulous. But then saying that, I really do like that blue and pink one.
I do. I love the blue and pink one.
And I can't wait to see what this golden one is going to look like.
So that's the face. And to make sure the ears don't go missing, I'm going to baste 4 locks. They go in between the end of the horn and the seam. So I'll baste that in there and then an ear below it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you've got 4 locks and fetlocks. Fetlocks are on the feet, and 4 locks are on the,
right.
the four of the head. There you go. That's as technical as we need to get on that, I think.
I should really know all.
Well, not really.
Well, I make a lot of animals. I should.
Should know my animal anatomy.
I probably labelled this as its fringe.
It might be in a unicorn. I mean, I'm only going at it from an equestrian point of view, but, you know, nobody said that on unicorns it wasn't.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm going to go for.
Yeah. There's no rules. It's fine. So does that ear tuck under that bit of forelock/fringe?
They should both meet at the seam.
Oh,
there,
okay.
For the side of the face.
Right.
So I'll baste these on quickly and it stops them from getting lost. And then I'll move on to the body.
Okay.
I would do them one at a time as well if I was at home.
There it goes.
There we go.
Excellent.
So I'll put that to one side. And it looks a bit like a cow at the moment because the ears are out at the side.
That's okay.
But then once the bottom of the horn comes together, it does just naturally
the ears prick up.
Pull the ears up.
Oh,
yeah.
that's brilliant.
So don't worry if you think, oh, it doesn't look very equine. It will be.
I have to tell you that my son has decided that, well, my 4-year-old niece wants to be a doctor and go to Oxford University.
Yes. So
My son wants to be a donkey scratching post when he grows up.
both.
Well, you know, yeah, we've all got to have ambitions. So, you know, probably best he didn't choose a unicorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, disappointment lies that way, I think.
Yeah,
But my youngest son is adamant he has no intention of ever getting a job, so.
Well, you know, fair enough.
Right, the stomach piece, this is the stomach, and these openings, again, I've done them with pretty much straight lines to just make it easier to sew these bits in.
Hang on, so what are we looking at here? So, stomach.
This is the lower stomach, this is up by the neck.
Okay.
And these are the inside top legs, the inside arms, essentially, but they're all legs.
Okay, so your front legs, back legs.
Yes.
Front legs, back legs, belly and chest.
That's right. And then fold them round this way.
Oh, I see.
And that sews around that sort of V-shaped opening. So I'll do both of the top legs, top inside leg.
Do you need to snip anything in there, or?
I don't.
You don't?
No, it doesn't need to. It doesn't need the freedom,
Okay.
particularly, so I don't snip these V's.
Poor little unicorn not getting the leg freedom.
You don't want, it might look like it slid over on the ice. If,
Like Bambi on ice. Do you know, just things that you never ever expect to chat about in any other job is how I feel when it comes to your shows. The leg freedom of a unicorn.
you wouldn't realise it was quite so important. But these...
Vital, let me tell you. Now you do need to start checking out your baskets. Half the stock of the fleece is already gone. Details, well, no details, yeah, at the bottom. Oh, they will be. We've got lots of golden going on there at the moment. Oh, there you go. There's your fleece down the bottom there. $24.99 for your fleece, and then your golden one with this brilliant mane. Yeah. That's. Oh, I can't wait to see what he's going to look like. Starting to give you a little idea there. Yeah. Then that's how the golden one is going to look-ish. Less bovine, more equine.
Yes.
Coming up.
There we go. So these top inside legs are joined on, and then I'm going to press open the bottom, just finger press the bottom of that seam, and then stitch on.
Oh, do they overlap?
These, they finish at the same point.
Right.
So if you just open the seam, you can see you have that bit of seam allowance up there, and you can line.
So just fold it back
Line them
across.
up. And that should fit nicely around this opening.
Excellent. Now, do you forwards and back at each of these points, or
Yes.
not? You do.
I do, always. When any seam, really, apart
Okay.
from when I'm basting.
You don't want it coming apart. And a shorter stitch, I've got to remember this, a shorter stitch for your cotton bodies when you're making any of Jo's makes. It makes so much sense.
It does, it just is sturdier.
Excellent, and round it comes. So actually, we've nearly got all 4 legs on.
We have, it goes, it does come
It's all going
together.
to come together quicker than the others. I thought this was going to be a far more complex make.
It does, well, I've got a pre-made body as well.
Oh, have you now? Oh.
I'm hoping to fit as much in as possible.
Here's a body I made earlier.
Exactly that.
Brilliant. I'm mesmerised. I mean, this is the one for me. Absolutely love it. And just it's the character that you managed to get in with all the facial shaping. And again, that's all in the instructions. How Jo just pulls in those eyes just slightly together, so that it just gives that shape. And there's that unicorn horn. Looking good. Looking good.
There we go. I've pressed the top. If that's the seam at the top there. Oh, might need to put the foot down.
Well, you know, sometimes it helps. Mine just shouts at me if I don't.
That was sort of
My machine's quite opinionated, I'll be honest.
Is it?
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
I think that's what, I think it's quite helpful to have,
Yeah.
you just sort of get a bit of a buzz off, a beep off this one. So there we go.
Electric shock, that'll teach you. Don't do that again. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, by the way.
No.
Just, yeah.
And I'd close the dart, but I'll leave that for the time being. That's all the inner legs and the stomach done.
So chest, stomach, hind legs, forelegs.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Cool.
And this is one side of the body. It has, up here is the back of the head, all the way down to its bottom, and including its outside back leg.
Hang on. Where's this going?
This is that. So you'd have the face here, and this is its bottom leg.
Oh, okay. Right.
But we need...
With Jo's shapes, I always look at them and go, I have no idea what body part that is. I mean, at least you know what body part it is.
Yes. But I know they can be quite confusing.
But it's all in the instructions, which is fabulous. And that's great. And that's why they're easy to follow. And that's why so many of you have been sending in beautiful photos this morning of all of your Jo makes.
If I could have... This is the outside of the bottom leg. If I could have got the outside of the upper leg onto this piece as well, I would have done. But unfortunately, it overlaps. So it can't be done as one full piece.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So we're going to fit
right.
this outer...
So that's
leg.
got to be added on because it couldn't go on initially.
Yes.
I'm with you.
And it goes from here,
Yeah.
and there's a marker on the pattern all the way down, and I want to finish it here.
Oh, okay.
Because
Right.
this is where the bottom of the top leg finishes and the top of the bottom leg finishes.
It makes perfect sense.
And marking it on does help. So I'm going to sew this curve around there.
Okay.
It's on the bias, so it does stretch a bit. There's a bit of forgiveness.
If that just all sounded like words, don't worry.
Sorry.
No. It's one of those things, and I would watch it back. I'll watch the show back. Make a note of today's date if you're buying the unicorn today. Sewing quarter today's date. Go onto YouTube. You can watch this back because that would be bit that I would maybe fast forward and go, okay, no, I get it now. Right, I'm good to go. So again, full photographic instructions in here. So we've looked at the ears. We've looked at the horn, and then the face, and then round here, they're your mane and tail. And then down here, let you see, there's all of your instructions showing you how to lay out all your body parts, and then step by step all the way through. They're brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. You've got about 15 minutes left, Jo.
Okay. I'll try and spin on. Between this marker, we still want the seam allowance left here and here.
Oh, okay, right.
So it fits, but it does allow for the seam on either side.
Right.
Now, the front leg fits all the way with the other side of the leg,
See.
but also the top of the stomach. So the top of the stomach and all down that front leg joins along
That's
there.
all. Oh. Well, now it becomes very clear. Makes a lot of sense now. Now, as I say, over half the stock of the fleece has gone already this morning, so please do check out. So fleece is going to go main screen there in just one moment for you. Now, the fleece is great if you are in any way worried about working with fabric that doesn't have much give. This has a bit of give. It's quite forgiving. So if this is your first time out, then maybe, I mean, at least 12 of you have got it in your basket as we speak, ready to check out. That's not even counting those of you that have already bought him. $24.99. So please do check out your baskets because he is I keep saying he, very popular. Now, those of you who have already gone, yes, to this one, to the fleece, we've got Sandra, Patricia, Marjorie, we've got Sue, Rachel, Jean, Kerry, Susan, Ruth, Barbara, Jan, Shirley, Kirsty, Beverly, we've got Agnes, we've got Susan, Janet, Margaret. Congratulations, that's the name but a few. This is the beauty. Toy making spans all generations. There isn't a single generation I can think of that wouldn't love a toy.
I'm biased, but yes, I think that.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Right, so I've joined that leg on, so inner and outer leg are together, and this now needs the top of the hoof.
Okay.
So I've just finger pressed that seam open.
Right.
And this doesn't stretch, this does. So I would keep the felt on top and just bring that curve around.
Would you pin this?
There.
Or
I wouldn't
not?
pin it because it's quite, it's not manipulatable, but that's the word I mean.
We'll go with manipulatable.
I'm sure that doesn't sound...
Malleable? Is it malleable?
Flexible? Maybe flexible would...
You can work it around.
You can work it around the curve, yes.
There you go. So 1/4 of an inch seam allowance for all of this. And your seam's open as you're just about to go over that seam, and that's all open. It's a great shot there, you see everything that's going on. And so this is where the hoof joins the leg. So that's the coronet band.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
See, I'm learning so much.
Well, I might have peaked. Let's not get too excited.
There we go. So that's the top of the hoof.
Lovely.
And then we want the bottom sewn on. I find it easier to have the bottom of the foot on top and just bring the curve around, pivot with the needle down as I go, but other people might find it easier to have the less curved
It's personal preference, isn't it? On all of these, it's personal preference every time. It's what you've been used to.
So I'll do this really quickly.
And round you go. Jo, you're back tomorrow.
I am.
With brand new lions.
I'm looking for, yes. I'm
That make
looking
me
forward
want to
doing the
sing In the Jungle every time I see the video clip of it. We're
Wow.
all a Woomba-weighing around every time we see that, the whole studio.
I heard that song done on the bagpipes once and it was a revelation.
Did it ruin it for you?
No,
or
it
was it even better?
It was even better.
The bagpipes.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what situation would have ever led to In the Jungle done on bagpipes.
I don't know what inspired the pipists to try that, but it was brilliant.
Brilliant. Maybe a beverage or two.
Possibly.
I don't, was it Scottish New Year or something, or Hogmanay, or?
We were in Edinburgh for the festival, and we were all, is that? And
I think it is.
And it was.
And did that inspire the? Did that then go on to inspire the lions?
I'm going to say yes, but
Yes, because that would be a lovely story.
It would.
And I'm a Leo, so I would be very happy with that story. Bev in the West Midlands. Hello, Bev. She says, morning, Natasha and Joe. Love the unicorn. Just wondered, does the kit make 1 or 2 unicorns? Says Bev.
it makes one. The felt, and I think you get more fleece actually than, if you buy the fleece one, I think it's 1/2 metre a wider piece. I think it's a wider fabric. But no, it makes one.
But it makes one. Okay. That's fair. It's quite a detailed make, this one. So there you go, babe. It's making one. And I love the idea of getting some of the beads in and having it as a door stopper.
Yes, I think that'd be great.
Right, 9 minutes.
Okay, so I've popped the bottom of the...
So we've got the sole on the bottom of the hoof.
And then I'm going to sew up the back of the leg, finishing at the top.
Okay.
And that should finish at the top of this leg and that one. And then it's that point where they meet.
Ah, where you marked with your pen, so you've got that to aim for. Excellent. I'll say I'm really enjoying this. A golden hoof. Sounds like a James Bond, a unicorn-themed James Bond. Golden hoof. And for $24.99, you can have your own golden hoof. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Have you got a favourite? Are we allowed favourites? Yeah, have you got a favourite?
No, I'm not. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about it.
You're not being drawn.
No,
in
no,
on that.
I'm not.
Non-committal on the favourite front.
So that's that leg completed.
Yes.
And then fold.
Was that a front leg?
That's the front leg.
Okay, good.
And then
we're
bring
going
these
up to the back leg.
around. So the outside of the bottom leg is part of this piece, but it's that piece that we stitched onto the stomach. So bring these together and they should fit perfectly, and we'll finish at that point.
Perfect.
There.
Oh, that's why we couldn't do the other hoof. We had to have the separate piece, the separate leg.
Yes, and
Yes.
I find it easier to sew finishing at that point because you can see, as you're finishing the seam, you can see where to finish it.
You've got an end point, haven't you? You've got a
You have.
destination to aim for, which always helps.
And you get a good view of it. So I'm going to sew up to here, pause with the needle down and readjust to bring this curved section together.
And around here, you see, you're just matching those pieces up. This is perfect. The kits are just perfectly put together. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I have to ask, as we go around a corner there, what level are we looking at for making this?
This is definitely an intermediate, I think.
Okay.
It is quite a tricky make, but anything, if you've got enough confidence, you can do anything.
Is that just because of the angles that you're having to get in at here?
It is, really.
Oh, producer wants to know if the ballerina was a beginner. I think he's got his eye on that ballerina.
Ballerina, I'd say, was intermediate
Intermediate as well.
So
I guess that one has smaller limbs, doesn't it? And the top stitching on the netting of the tutu.
Yes, it has quite a bit of fiddle factor in it. There we go. And I've finished at that point, and then don't need to with the fleece one, but just make a little snip just into the side body piece there, just to free up the fabric so it turns.
Okay.
And there we have the top of the bottom leg, and this, I'll turn it out this way. So it's
And a hoof. Well, that's hoofing marvellous, that is, isn't it?
but they finish, they join at that point there. So this is the top of the bottom leg. So
Brilliant.
that's why it's good to mark it, and then you can see where to finish the seam.
Excellent.
And the hoof goes on in exactly the same way as the first one.
And here, it looks like it's a little tap dancing unicorn there.
There we go.
We've had ballet, and now we've got some tap dancing. Brilliant. Okay. And this is all the wrong way round at the moment.
It is, it's all inside out.
Yeah.
And then at this point, I'm going to sew on the head.
Okay. This one.
This one,
Man, where does this fit in?
this starts at the bottom of the horn.
Yeah.
We line that up with there, and this goes all the way around here. Pivot at this bottom point, and then that fits across there. Pivot again.
It's at the bottom of the muzzle, down the base there.
Yes, this should fit
Oh,
across.
no, it's the throat, isn't it? Yeah, okay, yeah.
This.
Yeah. Joe just went, yeah, the throat, yeah.
And then pivot and bring it round that side. So the horn is still open.
Okay. Is the horn the last thing to get closed?
It's one of the last things, yes. I'll do it in a minute, but it makes, doing the horn in that way, makes it easier to fit the mane right up at the top of the back of the head.
To make it we've got Jean, and Jean, all with you in the basket. Jeans, multiple jeans, please check out your baskets. Because otherwise you're going to miss out. So please do check out your basket, all of you. And even if you're not called Jean, It's one of those funny moments where just everybody checking out is called Jean. Please check out your baskets. Make sure that you've got everything that you need. Each one of these kits will make one. But once you've got the pattern, I'm sure you're going to make him again and again.
I'm getting to this bottom point seam. I'm going to pause with the needle down. You could pin this in place. I'm going for it for the sake of time. Just lay that out flat so I don't get any tucks.
That's going to be your catchphrase, isn't it? It's always, you know, I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to pin, I'm just going to go for it. One of my first shows, my mum afterwards, I said, what did you think? She said, I can't believe you didn't pin. Really? That was her moment of amazement. Oh. Was it said in like sort of pride or absolute horror?
Sort of, I think a bit of both.
Because I remember how nervous you were when we first started. And, you know, we were just like, Jo, but your makes are brilliant. You've got nothing to worry about. I remember those shows. And now, look at you. You're pro, absolute pro. It's like you've always done it.
It does feel like second nature now. Okay, so I'll bring this.
But I guess this is the thing, isn't it? You know, it's you coming on here to sew live on air is like somebody who's sewing a toy for the first time. You know, it's always going to feel a bit awkward and new the first time that you do it, and maybe a bit nerve-wracking. But the more you do it, and the more of these toys that you make and get under your belt, certainly as watching, I mean, I've been alongside you, Jo, as you've made a lot of these, and I can see some similarities. You start from the head down, you work your way down, you baste your legs in, you don't overstuff them. All those sorts of things start to become second nature.
They do, and basting things into position so they're held in place for when you complete the seam so things don't slip. I mean, that's probably my biggest tip. There we go, that's the head on and the horn is still open.
Right.
So at this point, I'll turn the head the wrong way out. I'm just going to sew the horn together. So from the top down, not any further, because then I'm going to fit the mane in and sew along the back.
Okay. How far down the back are you going? Oh no, hang on.
Just the bottom of the horn.
Just the back of the horn.
Make sure
because the main's got to go in.
Are out of the way.
The forelocks.
The forelocks. The unicorn's fringe.
Yeah. Get the fringy bit out of the way. Now we've got a minute left.
Okay.
I don't want to rush, Jo. Producer will say, tell us you've got a minute. Vital. This is the make or break on the horn front.
Yes. This is what makes it a unicorn.
Well, yeah,
and
it'd be
not a
bit
white
awkward
pony.
if that went a bit wrong, wouldn't it? I'm not suggesting it will.
No.
So.
Right, so stitch that down to the bottom, clip the top so that turns nicely. And then we want the mane in this bit. So sandwich the mane right up to the top. With fleece, this is difficult. This is chunky now, so really take it slowly. Is this the hardest part
with the fleece? Because there was always going to be a payoff, wasn't there, with having a little bit of extra give and whatnot. This is payoff time, isn't it?
You just wrestle with it a little bit.
Okay, that's all right.
But give it a good pin into position and sew the back of the unicorn and finish just beyond the mane.
Right.
Because we want an opening in the back to stuff it. So stitch that together and then...
Have we got time to stitch that, Producer Paul? Yes.
Oh, go on then, I'll do it.
I just want to see what the golden mane looks like. I can't wait. Will we be able to turn it through when that's stitched in?
Yeah.
Yeah. The golden one.
Do it speedily.
Brilliant. But yeah, I always hesitate about sort of making our guest speed sew. Yeah.
I've only caught my finger under the needle once in my life, so...
Oh, in your life? Oh, that's all right. I thought you meant like today. Oh, okay. Oh,
no, not today.
Ouch.
It was quite ouchy.
Yeah, a moment of ouch.
There we go.
Okay, let's turn him through.
So stitch the bottom, baste the tail in, sew the bottom of the body up just above the tail, so that's sandwiched in position. But let's get this turned out the right way.
Oh, look at him. Oh, yeah. Do you need a pokey tool to poke out the horn?
Yes, that might be, should I just use the pen for speed?
Yeah. That is perfect.
So you've got the nice golden mane.
Oh. Brilliant.
turn the legs out.
Oh, that's brilliant, Jo. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Whilst
thank
you
you.
turn out those hooves, I'm going to go over there and have a look through the kits. But thank you so much. And
Oh,
we're looking forward to a lion show tomorrow.
Can't wait.
I'm sad I'm not in. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I have to watch from home. Right. Okay. The fleecy one this morning is proving very popular. It's so soft. I keep saying he in it, bright pink mane. Super, super soft and gorgeous and a little bit more giving to work with. But as Jo says, you know, then just be careful and use a slightly different needle on this one, a 16 needle on this. $24.99, KQGC44. I love that Jo gives us all the tips. You get all your wadding, you get your fleece fabric, you get your mane, you get your 2 different skeins, and you get your thread to sew it with and your stuffing. You do have to check out on that one. Now the blue one is over here. You get your instructions. You get your pink mane. You get silver to embroider with here. So it's going to have a silver muzzle, silver nose, and then you get your black for the eyes and the mouth. And then around here, this is your body fabric there. Fabulous. There you go. $24.99 on that one. And the one that we've seen today is the golden one today. So you're getting your white fabric. This is white cotton. The other one is fleece, this one is cotton. You get your thread, you get your 2 different embroidery skeins. Look at that gold, 25 meters of gold. And then you get your golden one as well. Excellent. Now, also this morning, of course, Jo wowed us with her ballerina. And here's the ballerina, and we have some of those left for you this morning. So we've got 2 different options for you. Da-da-da-da. Woohoo! The brunette, so this one, is $26.99. Now you can make 2, so that's for 2 ballerinas, $26.99 for 2 ballerinas. And full instructions, or watch the show back as well. And then we've also got the blonde one this morning. We've got Blondie this morning as well. So again, $26.99. The only difference is the hair colour. The rest of the kit's exactly the same. It's just down to which hair colour you fancy. $26.99. Now, after the break, we are quilting as you go. We've got everything to get you going. So whether you're just stocking up on the quilts that you like to quilt as you go with, whether you are starting from scratch and it's the first time you've ever quilted, we've got everything that you need. So don't go anywhere, stay tuned. I'll see you in just a few moments.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
We are celebrating our first birthday. Sewing Quarter turns 1 year old on Wednesday the 31st of January, and we're inviting you to join the party. Tune into Sewing Quarter for a special week filled with fun, for competitions and plenty of prizes, plus amazing guests and fantastic deals. Starting at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, Natasha and I will be together in the studio looking back at all the amazing highlights of our very first year. And we'll be racing against the clock with a special challenge for us. So don't miss our week of celebrations from Wednesday the 31st of January. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78, Sky Channel 678, and online at sewingquarter.com.
Hi, I'm Tilly Rose, and here are my 3 top tips. The first would be to actually be in the moment. Allow yourself to be surrounded by all those lovely fabrics and cloth and thread, and just take time out. Enjoy your stitching, whether that's machine embroidery or free motion or slow stitching. Just allow yourself to connect with the thread and cloth, and you'll enjoy the projects much more. So my second tip would be to allow yourself to go wrong. Give yourself permission to make mistakes, because we all learn from our mistakes. I've been sewing for a very, very long time, and I still make loads and loads of mistakes. But that's okay, because you can use those small little pieces in other projects later on down the line. But it's good, it's okay. So my third tip would be quite simply, break all the rules. If you want to experiment with different threads or different fabric, you might have read in a pattern or something that maybe you shouldn't do that, I would say, yeah, break the rules. And that's how you learn to allow your creativity to come through in your designs.
Join us on Wednesday the 7th of February when we're thrilled to welcome Tula Pink into the Sewing Quarter family with her debut show. Tula Pink's fabric designs are inspired by her love of animals and nature, and she enjoys hiding animal characters in unusual places in her illustrations. Her bold use of colour and patterns makes her fabrics a joy to quilt and sew with. Tula also has her own range of tools to add a special touch to your workroom. Her biggest fans include our own designers Lucy Brennan and Joe Carter. Like many people around the world, they're inspired by her gorgeous fabrics, so we can't wait to reveal these exciting prints and accessories. So join Tula for her Sewing Quarter debut on Wednesday, the 7th of February. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy-to-follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level.
Hello, welcome back to our last live hour this morning. Now, we've got, well, you can see so many different quilts as you go for you this morning. What I love about Quilt As You Go is that there are so many different ways of quilting now and lots of different designs, and with, you know, you can mix and match designs through as well. It's wonderful, really wonderful. So without further ado, let's start over here. Now, this one is your 80-20, and this is ever so slightly different from the ones over here in that this is one large piece. This is your sophisticated strips. And normally, Quilt As You Go is done on a modular basis, and you never stitch anything that's larger than sort of 14 inches in diameter, in size. But with this one, this is one large piece that you do stitch all the way through. But again, you quilt as you go. Let me show you the finished size of this. So to give you an idea, Lucy did that. There we go, that's it. So if you've got some of your most favourite, most beautiful fabrics where maybe it's got a large print or something, you don't want to lose any of that in the design, then maybe this is the one to go for. Maybe this is it. So for $11.99, NTEQ 46, that's the size that you will end up with. It's great, isn't it? Really lovely. Really beautiful. And of course, it is all, as we say, quilted as you go on there. So a lovely project. Maybe you've done some of the smaller quilts as you go, and you go, well, maybe it's time to give a larger project a go. But for me, I would really be looking at fabrics where I can't bear to not see a gorgeous print. That's where I would be going with that one. So that's just personal preference. Here we go. So Quilt As You Go. They call this the Express one. So if you've bought any of our fabric, maybe go and have a look. Maybe you've got an absolute favourite one. You see, some of the K facet fabrics would look amazing through there. Mix and match them through. Or if you've just got something that just has a large pattern repeat and you want to really, really appreciate that, then maybe this is the one to do. So that's $11.99. Now, this is quite a recent addition to our Quilt As You Go collection. It's a little bit of fun for you. Why not put together your very own cat feeding mat and quilt it as you go? So we have that option. Comes in a little pack like that. And again, as with all the others, if I just fold that forward, you can see that has been quilted as you go and bound beautifully. And there you go. So that's that option there. So you've got that. So that is your packet there. So if you've got that cat in your life that's, you know, a pampered pussycat, then this is your placemat. Now, as with all of the quilts as you go, if I turn it around to the back here, you can see 1, 2, 3. Now, that shows you it's quilting by numbers. So that shows you that this is the piece you sew on first, then that one, then that one. 4 is going to be over here, then 5, and then you add those on as you go. And that's how Quilt As You Go works. You just add them on. So £10.99. There'll be other examples where I can really show you how these go. But that's, I mean, this is what we mean. I mean, use whatever fabrics you want with these. This is Kaif. I mean, this is a posh cat. Very posh cat. So yeah, for all those Kaif cats out there, for £10.99, you can be doing it. Fabulous. Now, of course, if we've done the cats, it's only fair. Can't leave those dogs out now, can we? Oh no. So if your much loved pooch in your life requires his or hers own little doggy mat, then £10.99 gives you this. And again, you can see all of the placement lines there, and then you sew in 1/4 of an inch from that placement line. So number 1 is that large square in the center there, and then you work your way out, and your dog can have his very own quilted placemat in whatever designs you like, you see fit, and that you love. It can go with your own home then, can't it? It can go with whatever colours you have and that you want. So VUEQ82. Lots of you adding this into your basket already. It is 1p a piece, so you can buy a couple. You know, maybe you've got a couple of dogs, maybe you've got a dog and a cat. Can't leave one out. That would be very rude. You can't leave one out. They know. They know. Got to treat them fairly. Right, Mosaic Magic is next, which is this one. Now, this is more the traditional Quilt As You Go that we're used to seeing. And so on this one, with a lot of these, just the front cover gives you a good idea of what's achievable, and having a play with the colours that you're working with. So all of these 3 different designs here, they're all exactly the same quilt. It's just done in different colourways. But doesn't the different emphasis with the different colours, doesn't it give it a completely different look? So when you get this, you do get sort of a little map like that. And I would say photocopy that and colour it in with the different colours that you're likely to use, and just have a play and see if you're happy with the final effect. Now, when you get these, you will get 2, 4, 6 blocks effectively. That's how they're going to look. And they end up as a finished size of about 12 by 12 inches. And you would only work one of those under your machine at a time. So if you're starting out quilting, this is a brilliant way not to overface yourself, but to have a small enough block that you're working with, and you're not left with a massive great big quilt at the end to then try and quilt and manhandle under your machine. So on any sewing machine, you can do Quilt As You Go, which is really lovely. So to give you an idea, that is the size that you will be working with under your machine at any one time. So when you get your Quilt As You Go, open it up, cut it into the 6 smaller pieces, and then you will work on this. So that would be your number 1 bit, and then probably this piece across here, that would be your number 2. And then you would work your way up and around from there. So that gives you one idea. But, you know, we started to talk, this is it on the back here. So you can see, oh, we've labelled it now, so we know. But you can see on there just how that literally is, that's your back of your block, and that is all fully quilted as you go. And to give you that lovely effect. And don't they look completely different? Very different. And then, you see, you'll end up with 12 separate blocks. So then what you'll end up with is this. So you will trim that back, flush against that line there. And then this is then your joining piece. So you'll have one on the back there, doubled over, one there, and then you will line that up, and then you will sew those together. So you'd sew that, hang on, you'd sew that along there so that then, you see what I mean, there. So then when it opens up like that, that is then together, and on the back, you then, we've got all these nicely labelled now, you then would stitch down there. So $8.99. But the thing is, and this is the absolute beauty, this is your finished item. So that's the size of your finished item. So it's sort of a lap quilt size, but it's modular. And that's how I like to describe this. So if you wanted to do double that size, buy 2 packs. And again, same one, this is your Mosaic Magic, but imagine if that was all in the same fabrics, then that would be the size of 2 together. So you just keep putting them together, adding them together to get the size that you want. So that would be if you bought 2 packets and you wanted to do one big quilt, then you can. Or if you want to do another one, add it on, do some more, you can add on and you can decide how big. Maybe you want to get another packet, do another strip along there, and then have 2 left over to do your 2 cushions with. It's entirely up to you. So you are the designer essentially with this, and that's what I really love with this. So that's your Mosaic Magic. Let's have a look at hopscotch next. There we go. Now again, $8.99 for your hopscotch. Where's it gone? Is that my hopscotch one? I want to say, oh, that's fair and square. Hang on. Rolling Stone. Where's my hopscotch gone? Paris on Point. Quilt as you go. Is this my hopscotch? That's London Labyrinth. Where's my hopscotch gone? I've lost my hopscotch. No, I haven't got it here. Not in front of me, Producer Paul. So let's have a go with Rolling Stone. I've got that one right in front of me here. There we go. This is your Rolling Stone one here. And again, this is your polyester wadding. So this is the same weight as the Mosaic Magic that we've just seen. So if you wanted, then you could do half of your quilt in this, half of your quilt in the other one, and mix those blocks through. Oh gosh, we've only got 2 left of these. You've been quick off the mark with this one. But look at this, it's probably one of my all-time favourite ones. Let me show you this, I think because I really love the fabric in this as well. So only 2 available, but this is what it looks like when it's made up. Isn't it stunning? Now, one person's put one in their basket, which means we've only got 1 remaining. If you want the other one, you need to check out. Or if you are that person and you just want to make a larger one, so please do check out those baskets. Make sure that you've got everything that you need. $8.99, OXEQ 79. Are we going to have to say that's pretty much... No. I'm going to put that to one side there, just in case. I've got hopscotch. Here it is. And again, this is your polyester wadding, so if you wanted to mix that through, if you're lucky enough to get that one, or if you've got your Mosaic Magic, you can mix these blocks through. So you can almost end up with a kind of a sampler quilt of quilts as you go, because they all go together in the same way. That's the beauty of the modular system. And again, 3 different ideas. So it might be that you do a couple of blocks in that way, change your colours up, do another couple like that, another couple like that. It does look 3D, it's very clever, isn't it? Now, this gives you an idea of what it's going to look like made up. Now, this was done out of Joel Dewberry fabric. We did this one very early on, didn't we? But it's $8.99 for your quilt as you go wadding. And again, just have a play with all the different colours, all the fabulous fabrics that we make. Now, of course, if you're short on fabric, you can always go to our website and... on the website, there's a whole section. There are 4 pages of fabric that you can have cut by the ½ metre. So you could have 3, 4 metres if you wanted, and that will be cut in one continuous length for you. So check out all of those different fabrics. There's a lot there. Now the next one, again, this one is your fair and square. This is polyester again, so again, you can mix and match them. So Quilt As You Go comes in 2 different makes. You can either get the polyester or you get the 80-20 wadding. And I would say if you are going to do the mix and match block thing, then make sure that you go with like weight. So all the polyesters you can mix and match, and the 80-20s you can all mix those. So this is another polyester one. This is your fair and square Quilt As You Go. Again, $8.99. So many people have enjoyed the Quilts As You Go because it's one of those things that whether it's that you are just starting your quilting journey, then this is a great way. Again, 3 different versions there to play with. So it might be that you buy 3 of these and do 3 different versions. It's entirely up to you. But it's also, maybe you've just got to that stage where you find it tiring heaving a big quilt around under your machine, and actually just the fact that you have a 12-inch block that you are maneuvering under your machine, that's it, and it's quilted. A lot of people, they don't like that final quilting, or it feels a little bit too daunting, so they send it away, spend a fortune having their quilts quilted for them. But here you're doing it yourself, you're doing it all in one, and you are good to go. Let me give you an idea of what the fair and square looks like. Well done on checking out your baskets. You know that it's only yours if you check out. We've already had one sell out this morning in terms of the quilts, just this hour. So please do check out those baskets. But again, things like this with the fair and square, I love that you've got that square in the middle. So if you are fussy cutting, then you can really make the most. If you've got something fabulous on your fabrics and you really want to make that the focal point, then a quilt like this is a lovely way to really showcase that. And that's your fair and square quilt, and that's just $8.99. There we go. Alrighty, now let's move on to then the 80/20s. So I've got here your Paris on point. Now, lots of ways to work with this. This is your Paris on point here. And this is $11.99. Now this is 80/20, so 80% cotton, 20% polyester. Now with the polyester ones, they have a self-adhesive backing. Well, you use your iron with the steam to activate it. This doesn't, so you'd need to spray baste. Or, I've got another idea for your basting in just a moment, but you will need to baste your backing onto this before you get sewing. So this is your quilt as you go, pre-printed batting, and it's a lovely weight in that 80/20, and it's $11.99. Now, it might be, and this was one of these shows where we changed it slightly when we did this. I think this was with Joy, and we did 4 in a strip, so we turned it into a table runner, and then with the other 2, because you get 6 of these squares, blocks in a go, we had 2 left over, and they went as placemats. So you can really have a play. Maybe you want a lap quilt, maybe you want to have that table runner and placemats. You can, you can do this as you like. And now that is your Paris on point. But what it means is that I've got in here to show you when you get yours. Let's see at what stage this one is at in here. But with your starter piece here, you will get, like I say, different ideas on how to do these things. Now you'll also get down here where to go to watch their own tutorials. So if we haven't done a show for a little while, or you can't remember the date of the show that we did, you can always go and watch their tutorial as well. And then it tells you how much fabric that you need. Oh, we've had an email through on the Rolling Stone. Oh, this is from Elle. Just working on my Rolling Stone now, loving the show. Oh, fabulous. Well done, Elle. She didn't write a name, she just wrote L. I'll call you L. So if you'd like your name said otherwise, but L. If you're after the Rolling Stone, which is that one, then it's just $8.99. Now, when I said to you earlier, I know this is Joy's because it's got, this is from one of Joy's show because she puts colouring pen on everything. But I would maybe photocopy that and have a play with the different colours that I wanted to do. Now, Joy always goes through and marks the salient points that she needs to know about, but you do get full instructions. And then on the back, if I just spin that around there, this is your step-by-step instructions as to how to put the binding together, because I know that's often the bit that throws people, but it really is very easy, step-by-step, all the way around. And I'll let you in on a little hint and a little tip that I discovered the other day. I was like, that's genius. So when you put your quilt together, you're left with, so this is the front. So the fronts have been sewn together. That's my sashing down the middle there. And both sides of those have been sewn there and there. And then on this side here, so you see, look at this, this is all quilted, so I haven't got to worry about any of that. That's all been done. All of that's quilted beautifully. Now here, this is my binding, if you like. This was on the fold there, so that's not a raw edge because that's folded. That will go across. And now, you can either hand stitch that, and you'll do that all over the back of your quilt. So you can either hand stitch that, or get a piece of wonder web and attach it down like that, and then you have to sew it. Just a little hint, a little cheat tip for you there. One of our designers says, well, of course you can always do that. You can just, and you know, like the wonder web that you do to take your hems up with. So if the thought of stitching all of that by hand is a little bit too daunting, or maybe hand stitching isn't something that you really do that very much of, and you know, then you can do that. So there's a couple of little hints and tips for you there. And that's how it goes. Right. London Labyrinth. Excuse me, I've still got this horrible cold. Now, if you like to see London Labyrinth fully made, this is the effect that you can, in fact, achieve. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, that was made, gosh, that was Hayley in the office, our boss Hayley. She made one of those blocks and we mocked it up to show you what it would look like. That was out of the Devon County Fabrics. We've got another quilt coming up with those on Sunday, I believe. But and she was so proud. Honestly, if you'd seen her, she was just so proud with her make. It's the first time that she'd ever done any kind of quilting. And she did that, and she was absolutely thrilled to bits. So it can be the very first thing. Now, this is what you get. And again, this is your 80-20. So if you want to mix this one through with your Paris on point, then you can, because they're both 80-20s. So $11.99 for your London Labyrinth quilt as you go. And then this gives you an idea. Again, we keep saying, you know, think about the different colours that you're working with. Now, these are both Tula Pink designs, but just in different colours. And look how it just changes it completely. Really beautiful. Of course, we've got Tula Pink coming in. So, I mean, that's bright, vibrant, and really quite, you know, and then there's that one, which is more your traditional colours. Fabulous. Fabulous. I just love it. Really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. So do have a good go. It was Hillary. Oh, did the message just, sorry about that. And again, on the back here, it just shows you when you come to bind these together, then those will butt up against each other, and then that will go across there, and then you can just hand stitch that down, and then that'll be it. So even the back, I mean, if you wanted to, I've often thought it would be quite tempting to maybe do rainbow colours in the back. So you might have, you know, one red, orange, yellow, and so you could do different coloured backings. I've always thought that would be a really nice. So then the quilt's a bit interesting on the back as well. But so all sorts of different choices, and this is the joy of it, isn't it? This is the have a play with the different colours, see what you really fancy. Nice. So, we've had another email through from Val. Oh, thank you for all your pictures today. Here's a picture of my quilt as you go, made for a friend on the theme of her favourite film. Find them so easy to do. Hang on a minute, I want to know what the film is. Look at that. Brilliant. Oh, that's her favourite film, it's The Night Before Christmas. Brilliant. How lovely, and of course personalised. That is your Savvy Stripes. Excuse me. That one, shall I show you that? That's the Savvy Stripes. So well done, Val, beautiful. Here you go, this is your Savvy Stripes. So if you want to make one like that, then this is what you need. And this isn't the modular system. Sophisticated strips, what did I say? Oh, Paul, that's the name of the one that we couldn't remember yesterday. Yeah, so your sophisticated strips is this one, and that's done in a wanna. But it's not too big that it's daunting to put through your machine. Now, the others are all sort of 12-inch squares. Oh, well done if you managed to get the Rolling Stones. That's gone. That's gone already. So well done if you managed to get that this morning. Yeah, look at that. It's lovely, and it's a lovely size, actually, that. Although I guess the thing is, if you've done some of the smaller quilters, you get, with the 12-inch squares, you could get two of these and you could join them in exactly the same way as the others, and there's nothing to stop you from doing that, and then you'd have double the size. Yeah. Now, so that's all of those quilts done this morning. Let's have a look at some of the other things that we've got for you. Now, oh, hang on, I'm just going to have to come around the side here because, whoop. Got a little bundle for you, and I've become a bit of a fan of this, I have to say. So this is our micro stitch tool. And you might be going, oh, Michael, what's that all about? Now, this is the smallest stitching tool on the market currently. So the way that this works is, with your 80-20 wadding, let's say, for example, this is the size, this is going to be the front of your quilt. Then if you want to, before you start to quilt, then you can, so you've done all your quilting on the front, so this is really for normal quilting. If you've done all your quilting on the front and now you're going to do your quilting on the back, and you've done all your patchwork there, now you're going to go through all of those layers and you want to keep this firm. You want to keep this together so that you can then quilt it and put your back on. So that's what this tool comes in handy for. So this is your Avery micro stitch tool with 2 refill packs. Now this is the joy of it. You are getting an extra 2,400 little stitches, 1,200 in white, 1,200 in black. So you get all of those with it, along with the ones that actually come in the pack. So you're getting loads of these. Now we are limited on the number of these that we can bring you, but let me show you what it does. So a lot of people have put off doing quilts in one go because of the basting. So this is a really easy way to get around it. This is quite sharp, but it's got a little delivery device there which is going to deliver these, I'm nearly at the end of this one, those little micro stitches through. So instead of pinning or basting by hand, or if you don't like to spray baste, then you can just do this. So I would say maybe go for, there we go, an area there. If I just turn that around, now hopefully I've got that at the right angle so that when I squeeze the trigger, how close can we get on this? Are we in as close as we can? There you go. There. That has just delivered that little stitch, and this is the smallest stitch on the market, and that has just gone through my top layer there, my patchwork, my wadding, and that. I did do 9 in 4 seconds, Producer Paul. Yes, I did. Oh, really? Hang on, no, you can't, because, Producer Paul, I haven't, hang on, how many have I got? I've got 1. Okay, well, let's see how many I can get done before I run out. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6, through all of that fabric, 7. But you see, you don't have to rush it. You can just push it all the way through like that and make sure that's going to deliver them through, and then through you go. So you don't have to rush it. I mean, we just do it as a piece of fun just to show you how easy it is to do. And I think, yeah, I've done that one. So that is now all together. That's not going anywhere. As you can see on the back there, you can see just tiny little white marks. Now you've got the white and you've got the black ones in there so that you can do it to contrast with your fabric. And then when you need to, just get a hold of them and you can just pull them out like that and it just comes out. Done. Or you can snip them. So we are limited on these. I'm going to put the last one in there. So if you wanted to see that closely again, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, this tool. There it is. Can you see? It's come through, and that is it. Done. Through. Now, that was the last one. Look, see? Now, with this happened to me on the last show, and I'd done so many different stitches with this, and I'd never actually had to refill it. I didn't know what to do. But now I know. And it comes in from the top, and you just slot that in there. And then you are good to go again. So just slot that in. So I could go maybe part way through there. There we go. And we're in business again. It's as easy as that. Absolutely easy. You've got your safety cap as well. I would probably put one in each corner. And then that is that basted. And you're not having to worry about pins getting in your way. or that you might poke yourself with. So don't worry about that. You are getting 2,400 refills extra in addition to the ones that you get with it. And if I just hold that up for you there it is. That is basted, ready for you to go. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's the first time that we've ever bundled it with the extra refills. Normally we've had to buy those separately, but for $32.49, it's a brilliant piece of kit, absolutely brilliant. And then there is your safety cap. Pop that on there, and you are good to go. Now, little bundles. We've got a quilt as you go accessory bundle. Here we go. This is everything that you've got. So, here we go. Let me show you these. Hang on, I've got to get these across my desk. This is brilliant. So you've got your best press spray, you've got your heat press spray, you've got a spray, tape, you've also got your curved safety pins, and we've also got the magic clips. Now, somewhere, and it's probably still on my trolley, I had an entire quilt that was basted with safety pins. Now, these aren't just any old safety pins. If you can see on here, and I don't know if floor manager Chris can find me that quilt, it should have been on the trolley. They look like they've been squashed. They look like someone's bent them. But that's so that when you baste with safety pins, and again, lots of people have their different ways that they like to baste, then it just means that it will naturally want to come back up as you post it through all your layers. It will naturally want to just come back up and through. So if I show you this quilt here, just as an example, this whole quilt has been basted with safety pins. So it's just another way of basting. And again, basting is one of those things, it just comes down to personal preference. That's all. But you can really see here how those safety pins, because they're curved, they just go through and then they come back up. So you're not having to fight it at all. It just goes in and then up, and then you shut it off. So again, it's down to personal preference. So we've put those in there for you as a starter. So this is your accessory bundle. So you've got all of those, and we've got these for $36.49. Let me show you what else we've got. So we've got all of those. We've also got the best press spray. Now this is the biggest bottle that we do. For all of your quilts as you go, you will be told to starch spray your fabrics before you go, because you won't be pressing in between. So if you starch spray your fabrics before you go, before you cut them, then what that means is that you can just finger press them and you don't have to get the iron out. And this is the largest, this is the best value one that we do. This is the largest one that we do. You can also use this on your ironing as well, at home. So if you want nice crease in something, then you can use that as well. So that's your best press spray. Can't say it today. And Mary Ellen says that who's the designer of this, she says it makes ironing almost fun. Then you're also getting these. Now, these are your magic clips, and what I would highly recommend when you get these is go on to, it tells you the website to go on to, and watch the demonstration with these. Now, we've got a picture of Hannah doing this, our producer Hannah, or just her hands, really. And these are brilliant, because when you're doing bindings and things on quilts, often if you clip them, then you have to remove the clips. But with these, the edge of the foot runs over that clip, so you don't have to take it out. Obviously, you make sure that you sew to this side, so your needle's not going through the metal, obviously. But that will hold that fabric, all those layers of fabric together, and then your foot, your sewing foot, just runs over the edge of that. Your needle will go down there. Have a look again. There you go. So there she is going over another and over the other one. And she hasn't had to take any of those clips out. So especially with binding and things like that, when you do your quilts, if that is something that you've struggled with and gone, oh, I hate having to take those clips off, not anymore. You don't have to anymore. You can clip it with confidence. And it's got measurements and things so that you can make sure that you've clipped it the right amount. It's really, really clever. Now, this kit doesn't stop there. Oh, no, we've also got heat press batting together. Now, I bet a pound to a penny, all you quilters out there have lots of offcuts where you've had a larger piece of batting or wadding than you needed, and you've ended up just using a portion of it, and you've got a bit left. It's not quite big enough for the next project. You can't quite throw it away. So what this does, this is your heat press batting together. And so you line them up. You can do them, you can sort of cut them on a little bit of an angle, and then you put that over the top. You heat press it on like you do with any sort of heat press wadding. And that will fuse them together, which is just brilliant. So suddenly, you've got a usable piece of batting or wadding. You don't have to go and buy a whole new one because you've made good out of several pieces, and that's absolutely brilliant. Making the most of everything. So there is the whole big kit. Now we've said this is your accessories bundle, but I think any quilter will be really, really thrilled to bits with that. It's really, really handy. Now, the most popular quilt as you go this hour is the hopscotch, which I put here. Here we go, this is your hopscotch. $8.99 for your hopscotch. Loads of you with this in your basket. You know what I'm going to say. As soon as there are loads of you with it in your baskets, please check out your baskets. Lots of you buying 3 or 4 at a go. I don't blame you. Look, I mean, firstly, Quilt As You Go is just a great price for the wadding that you're getting. But secondly, look, you've got all of those lines on there, so it tells you exactly where to go. So if you're worried about your placement on your when you're stitching, or if you just need your hand held a little bit, or if you just want to be able to work, that is the size that you will be quilting as you go in one step. So it's not a daunting, huge quilt that you're trying to get underneath your machine at any one time. It will just be one of these size panels, which makes it really doable. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I'm quilting something quite large, sometimes my neck and my shoulders ache a little bit. You're not going to get that with this because it's really simple. You're only working with a small amount of fabric. Just brilliant. It's genius. Now, the next most popular is the London Labyrinth. Now, let me see. Now that's how our lovely Hayley Marshall decided that she was going to do hers. Now let me just check out. Oh yes, the London Labyrinth. Now London Labyrinth is an 80-20 cotton wadding. Now do you remember we had this in 2 different coloured tulas, and then that is the one on your screen at the moment. Oh, there you go. There are your 2 different coloured tulas. And Hayley's that we just seen is with the County Devon fabrics, Devon County fabrics that we've got on Sunday. But again, 5 of you have got this in your baskets. You do need to check out. It's only guaranteed if you check out your baskets. Rolling Stones sold out already. Don't miss out on these. If you're after these and just how beautiful they are, then it's a great way either to get sewing or get quilting or get back into quilting, or just, you know, do something manageable. Maybe you do a block a night. A block a night and it's done in a week. You know, really achievable. And a lovely lap quilt size. But maybe you're one of these people that are multi-buying and you're just going to keep adding and adding and adding. I call this, I think I'm the only one that calls it, but I call it a modular system, which means you can just keep adding to it. If you're working on the 80-20 wadding, then stick with the 80-20 waddings. If you're working on the polyester waddings, then stick to the series of the polyester waddings. Now, fair and square, I believe, is over here. Yeah, this is your fair and square one. Now, again, very, very, very popular here. Please do check out your baskets. Yes, yes. There you go. It's very fair price. Look at that, $8.99. JBEQ, $79. And I think these have been just such a hit for us because they just make it so achievable to do. And you're not having to send off a huge quilt at the end to be quilted. I mean, I know some of you pay sort of £150 a time to get your quilts quilted professionally because it's just not something that you feel capable of doing on a large quilt. But here, each of those squares is quilted as you go along. So then by the time that you've finished it, whereas normally you would only have finished your patchwork top, on this, the whole thing's done. And I really love that idea. And look at that, just 3 different ideas, very different, just in different coloured placements, gives you 3 very different looking quilts, doesn't it? So if you want to achieve with this one, this is your fair and square, and I think this is a brilliant one if you've got a feature fabric, maybe it's got a little picture or something that you really want to highlight, or there's something in the design that you want to fussy cut. you know, well, you know I love my Tilda fabrics and things like that. I'd be tempted to get some of the larger prints and do maybe a beautiful rose bundle in the middle of each of those or something. It's up to you. That's the beauty of it. Go onto the website, check out whatever fabrics. Now, 6 of you have just added this to the basket. I don't blame you. The other thing, of course, is that you don't have to have one massive great piece of fabric to do the backing, because that's also done just in each square. Now, I really fancy doing one of these and doing it so that each square in the back is a different colour. That, you know, it doesn't have to be that you have one great big piece. Sometimes when you do a massive great big quilt, you end up with going, oh, hang on a minute, I don't have a piece of fabric that's large enough. I've then got to get some big pieces and stitch those together before I then try and baste it all together. And it's just a little bit too much. But each of these, that's one square done. That's all you do quilting. And of course, if you want to make it larger, just buy additional ones and just keep adding them on. Fabulous. Right. Come with me over here, because I would just want to recap. Maybe you've only just joined us. Maybe you've been out shopping this morning, you know, for food. People seem to like being fed. First hour we did, the ballerina. And we've got brand new today, we've got a blonde version. So we've got our blonde and brunette version now. So each of these kits makes 2 ballerinas. So $26.99 to make 2 blondies. And that's LWGC 44. So in your kit, you will get all of your wadding to stuff over all of your stuffing, toy fill, full instructions. You also get a black skein and a pink skein for the embroidery aspect. So the eyes, the features, pinks for the cheeks and for the laces on the ballet shoes. You are also going to get 1/2 meter of your flesh tone, 1/2 meter of your leotard spot on, and 1/2 meter of your net mesh for the actual tutu part of her, which we had to source specially for this kitten design. So that's $26.99. So it's that colour or that colour on the hair front. This is the blonde one, obviously, but this is brand new today, $26.99. So if you're after a little blonde one, then off you go. Grab this one. Loads of you have got this in your baskets from earlier on. Lots of you watching at 8 o'clock still haven't checked out your baskets. The only way to secure this is to check out your basket. Now remember, check out as many times as you want. We don't restrict it. Check out as many times as you like. You will only be charged $2.95 P&P per day. Per day. That gets charged at midnight. And then the rest of the time you just check out as many times as you like, secure your projects, and you are good to go. Now this is your brunette one, so you'll be making this version. And with that coloured hair, exactly the same kit. So you're getting your 1/2 meter of netting, you're getting your 1/2 meter of your spot-on fabric for the leotard, you're getting your 1/2 meter of flesh tone fabric, you're getting both of those skeins and your thread to sew it all together, and you're getting your full instructions, and you're getting your wadding. All for $26.99, and that will make 2. So FGGC 22, and that's the full kit. Now, something else that was brand new today was our golden unicorn. So if you're after the golden unicorn, now this is what the unicorns look like made up. This was actually the fleece one that we had. We've got that on the show as well. But if you wanted the golden version, this is with cotton rather than with fleece, and this is with a golden mane, but look, you get this amazing golden yarn there to embroider with. It's brilliant, isn't it? And then you get your black skein to do the eyes, muzzle, and eyelashes. And then you've also got your skein, your thread there, and of course all of your stuffing as well. And you're good to go. Now, if you are brand new to us, hello, welcome. Of course, we've just very recently arrived on Sky, channel 678. So if you are watching on Sky for the first time and maybe you've yet to buy anything, then it's super easy to do so. And if you are spending over £10 with us, not including your P&P, then you can expect to receive this free gift. For new customers only, they're worth $16.99. With your first purchase over £10, you'll get a is it 18 or 20? It's 28 mil rotary cutter there, so a little rotary cutter, but it comes with 5 extra blades, which is just brilliant. And that's our gift to you. So our website, let's check out our website, because if you are new, and the only reason we're going through is because we've had so many new people joining us, and welcome. Thank you. This is our website. Now, if you go on the front page, you can see all the things sort of scrolling across there. We've got a winter sale if you want some bargains. We've got a special offer on our magazine subscription. So these are our sister magazines. We're all part of the same company. And we've got Love Quilting and Patchwork, we've got Simply Sewing, and we've got Today's Quilter. Brilliant. And you can go and save on 3 copies 72%. And that will give you a lovely idea as to whether or not you're going to love the magazines, if it's got the kind of style things that you love. And there's also a way that you can catch up on your back copies as well. So if you've maybe, you've been a subscriber for a little while, but you're missing a few copies, then you can fill in the gaps there. So I'm going to leave these gorgeous makes over here. And I'm going to go back to quilting over here. Oh, a stock warning. Producer Paul, what are you stock warning me with? Oh, the stitch tool. Over half the stock have gone. I love the stitch tool. Love, love, love it. Now, for the first time ever, we've bundled it with your extras. So when you start with this, be honest, it is a little bit addictive. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love this. And I just went round the office trying to find as many things that hadn't been basted as I could possibly find and just have a good go. So you get 1,200 of those, 1,200 of those, black and white, so that you use them contrasting with the fabric that you were basting, so you can see them to remove. It means that you don't have to spray. I love to spray baste. I'll put my hand up. I do love to spray baste, but I do generally kind of get it all over my carpet and then have to wash the carpet. But with this, there's no need to do that. There's no pins sticking in that are going to hurt you as you go around, and it's entirely up to you. But this is now fast becoming one of my favourite ways of basting. Take the safety cap off. You do have quite a sharp point there, because that's got to go through your patchwork, that's got to go through your wadding, and that's also got to go through your backing fabric there. And hang on, oh, I've pretty much basted this. I got a bit carried away, didn't I, earlier? Well, we'll put a few more in. That's absolutely fine. So it goes through all 3 layers, so you just, there you go, find where you want. And what I would actually recommend is, because you're going to have to take these out afterwards, you can either snip them out or just pull them out. It's entirely up to you. Is when I was doing it earlier, I went for kind of the middle or the joins there, so that I would know exactly where to find them again. So if I just go in there, poke it through, so you've got your black and white ones. Now, here we go. And if I just squeeze there, can you see? There you go. Now, this is the smallest stitch tool on the market. And there it is. There it is. Absolutely brilliant. So it's a time saver. We can't buy you time, but this is the closest thing to it. If we did, this is how we would buy you time. Buy you time back. So if I just do that in the middle there, again, through all of those layers, and there it is. It's not to be scared of. It's not like a nail gun or anything. You don't have to be worried about using it. And off you go. But you do get the refills. You get those that come in the packet. You get oodles actually with it in the packet. And then we went, actually, I think what happened is that they saw how addicted I got and how many I got through just basting everything in sight. And they went, actually, we'd better give you another 2,400. Now imagine how long it would take you to hand baste 2,400 stitches. Quite a long time. I would suggest quite a long time. Now, something else that we've bundled for you today is our quilting accessory kit. So, if you, do you know what? Whether you are learning to quilt or an experienced quilter, it's just a handy thing to have. So, you've got your best press spray for any of the quilts as you go. And actually, if you just want to, once you've washed a fabric and it's lost a little bit of that sturdiness, this will put that texture back in just to make it a little bit easier to handle. So that's what your best press spray is doing. It's putting starch, kind of a starch in. Now, it's not like the white starch sprays that just make a mess everywhere. It's not an aerosol, it's just a squirty gun. And that is just, it's perfect. It lasts an incredibly long time. This is the biggest version that we sell of it. And it's lightly scented with linen, this one. So you've got that. So you will have to use that with any of the quilts as you go. It does recommend that you do that so you can finger press beautifully. Now, we've also got in here the magic clips. Now, these are a real revelation, and we absolutely love these. So instead of having to take your clips out, you might have used clips where you have to remove them as you come along. Can you see these are absolutely flat along there? So the edge of your foot can run over there, and that's absolutely fine. So you don't have to unclip the fabric that you've spent ages putting in. Now, your knitting needle, your sewing needle will obviously come to the other side. There you go. So there we are, sewing over those, not having to take those clips out. And you can see, if we just hold that, can we just hold, oh, hang on. Can we, oh, actually I can show you on the back here. This took me a while to get my head around. That is the edge of your clip. And then you sew, so you're not going to sew over that metal bit, because otherwise you snap your needle, but you sew there. And then you've got these markers, show you how far in you're working, which is lovely. There you go. Now we're limited on this bundle. The bundle doesn't stop there. We've also got now 150 curved safety pins, because it might be that you love to safety pin yours together, or even just label. I often use my safety pins just to label what it is, so that if when I have to go away and sort of put something away because I know that I've got other stuff to do, I'll just put a little pin through it, a little safety pin through it with a little label and say what it was. So these are your curved safety pins, but they go through the layers and then just ease their way up because of their shape. You can see, look, they're curved. So you go in and they just bounce back up into your hand, and then you just shut them off. So we've got all of those, 150 of those. And then this, which is absolutely brilliant. So this is your heat press batting together. So all those little bits of wadding and batting that you've got, that you don't want to throw away, but they're not quite big enough for a full piece of wadding. So you've got to kind of go out and buy a whole new piece. No. It's absolutely fine. These will fuse your pieces of batting or wadding together, which is just genius. So in that, you are saving yourself money by having that, which is great. So all of that in that kit for $36.49. Fabulous. Do check out those baskets. Now, we've got some Prim Quilters fine needles. So if you are doing your final stitching on your quilts, then you're going to need a lovely fine needle to go through. So, but what I love about this is normally if you kept your needles in something like this, when you came to shake them out, they would go all over the place. But with these, you just give them a little shake like that, and out they all come. And then you can pick which one you want, and they are super fine. So maybe I just want, there you go. So that is your quilter's needle. And then when you've done with it, you just pop it back in, press it down, and put the lid back on. But there's none of that worry about them going all over the table or all over the floor. As soon as you open them, just take the lid off, give it a shake, and out they all come. It's brilliant. I love these. $4.49. And these have got a silver eye on them as well. So they're going to slide through your fabric beautifully. And that's just for $4.49. Yeah. And that's never going to wear out because that's a magnet. So it's not like it's a mechanism that one day it might break and go everywhere. That's a magnet. So that's brilliant. Dogs are the most popular out of the dogs and the cats. Now, it's a little bit of fun, this. I do like this, a bit of light-hearted fun, where you can quilt your pet a placemat. Ta-da! In whatever fabrics you like. We've got the cat one that was made out of K-facet fabric, posh cat. So $10.99. This is your quilt as you go pet placemat for dogs. Oh yes. So you can really make your pooch the envy of the neighborhood, but you do have to start checking out on these. It's just $10.99. You put the fabric that you wish with it. You know, I'm sure you have a stash. If not, then you can always buy all sorts of different fabrics from us online. But what I really want to show you on the back here, and that you can really see, is that that's what we mean by it's quilted as you go on. We've done this in a white thread so that you can really see. So this is along the same lines as all the other quilts as you go. You are just quilting that in its entirety as you sew it together, which is brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. Now, let's have a look at the Mosaic Magic. I'd love to if I knew where I'd put it. Oh, here it is. Now this is your polyester wadding. So this gives you 3 different options. 1, 2, 3. Again, just play with your fabrics, play with your different colors, and you can get 3 different. So if you bought this 3 times, you could have 3 completely different looking quilts. Now on it, they've got their own channel so that you can go and have a look or watch back some of the shows when we've done these. It's entirely up to you, but $8.99, lots of you multi-buying. I'm not surprised because you can just up the size of your quilt by just keeping on adding and adding and adding together. Once you know how to join 2 of those together, you can make this as big as you want. Just keep adding them on, and you are good to go. So let me show you some of how these will look. So in all your blues and greens, nice, hey. Feels very different to that version there. And again, that's just down to different color choices and different fabric choices. Feels incredibly different, but it's the same quilt. And then this is what I really want to stress to you, is that that is the size. That is the size that you will quilt. In fact, hang on, this is the one, this doesn't even have any binding on it. This is the size that you will quilt at any one time using the quilt as you go. This is why it's been so popular, because that's not daunting, that's not terrifying. That is really achievable and easy to maneuver under your machine. So you're not having to put through this whole quilt. No. When that block is finished, as you can see on the back there, then that is already quilted. The hard work's done for you. It's already done. And because you are following the lines on the front, each one is going to be perfectly quilted as you go. And so that when you turn over your quilt, you'll see just these perfect quilted lines. And it's not like me. At the moment, I can only sort of quilt in a straight line. But now, you've already got that pattern quilted. Lovely. Now, Paris on Point is the next one that we're going to look at. Now, all of these, I'm showing you these ones because you need to check out on these. We know how much you love your quilts as you go. Now, this one is an 80-20. So also, you know, have a think about what designs you love, of course, but also what do you like to work on? Do you like working with polyester? Do you like working with your 80-20? This is 80-20 and it's $11.99. And let me show you. If this is your first time with us, when you get your quilt as you go, it'll come in a great big piece, and then you cut into it. Okay. Now, obviously, we've taken a few snips out of that, but you'll cut it down so that you're left with this. Okay. All of the cutting instructions are in the pack, and this is the size of what you will then be quilting at any one given time. So number 1 piece you'll have, and you cut that and you place that in the middle. And then your number 2 piece there, you will place that so that the edge is along there, and then you will sew 1/4 inch in and then fold it back. And that is how this works. Then you go to number 3, number 4, number 5. That's how it goes. Grab the one that you want. Now, we're rapidly running out of time, so let's see what's coming up with John tomorrow. We've already had a little hint at this one. 8 a.m., Jo Carter's Lion. Rawr. She will be out with that at 8 o'clock. 9 a.m., so useful selection. We've got some of John's top tips there. And then at 10 a.m., we've got a brilliant kids backpack. Yeah, it's not just about the adults. We've got something for everyone tomorrow. And then at 11 a.m., we've got John's Sewing Room, which promises to be a fabulous hour and not to be missed at all. So that's what we've got coming up tomorrow with our lovely John Scott. Now, if you're new and you're uncertain on how to purchase or anything, do give us a call. It's free to do so. 0800 112 4433. Leaves me to say have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you next week. Have a lovely time. Bye-bye.
Jo Carter's series of amazing animal softies continues this Friday, with her lion toy making its Sewing Quarter debut. From issue 21 of Simply Sewing magazine, this King of the Jungle is all set for plenty of games and cuddles. With an embroidered smile and a super cute mane, you'll love sewing this toy for someone special. Our new kit includes Jo's expert instructions, so tune in for this unmissable new show at 8 a.m. on Friday the 26th of January, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.